Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, days and dems, welcome to that one. And today is my guest is Minty. Hi, how are you? Oh wait, I just realized I don't have a fugi for you.
Oh, I can send you a link.
Ah!
Mistreeg
Give me a sec.
1879
My
helped Snowfy
notifications
find their way to
definitely-
the Furet fam. Mistreeg 1879 gifted a tier 1 sub to Snowfy_. They have given 6 gift subs in the channel.
I need to turn off text to speech.
That's fair. I like to keep mine on but lower the volume decently, but sometimes they can be so distracting, so I feel that.
So my sub alert, I didn't expect it to go off that much. So it's like a very loud like Eurobeat song, and that's what happens.
That's fair, yeah.
And yep, that's one of the redeems. But yeah, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. As you can see, I have provided cookies, and I hope my lovely bartender has treated you well in the meantime.
Yes, cookies.
Let me up your volume.
Perfect.
Test 1 2.
Test 1 2.
That should be good. I hope.
Cookie 1 2.
Cookie 1 2, indeed. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Minty Yukime. You can feel free to call me Minty, Yuki, or Yukime. I own the Winter's Dream Cafe, where I host a bunch of various people from all around the world. And I'm a streamer. I play lots of different video games. I do a lot of just chatting. And yeah, I do all sorts of random stuff. And I love girls.
Girls! Woo!
Girls.
I have a little tech question right now.
Yeah.
The volume is still a bit low, and you're on 200.
Weird.
Yeah.
I can turn my gain up a bit. Let me try that. Is this better at all?
Yes, this is a lot better. Yes, people will hear.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I got some personal questions there, just a bit about like hobbies and lore and stuff. But there's some fun questions too later. What are your hobbies?
Well, I have a lot of different hobbies. I definitely like engage with a lot of different things. Mostly like the big one is video games, of course, right? Just in general. But specifically, I really love competitive sort of video games. So like things that are harder, like rage games, like Dark Souls and Monster Hunter, and like I love like Valorant, and I recently have been into Guilty Gear. That's been a big thing for me. So things that are like really super challenging and like often frustrate people. Usually I don't get too frustrated at. So I love playing with those. And other than that, I really, really love any sort of like rhythm or like dance game. So I played Dance Dance Revolution, DDR, for like years. When I was in like, I got my first like dance mat for it at home when I was in like the 6th grade or something. So I've been playing DDR a lot for most of my life. And recently that's shifted into like Beat Saber and like Ring Fit, but I'm a pretty active person in terms of that kind of thing because of those games. That's a big thing for me that I really like.
I love Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber is so fun. I haven't played in a while just because my VR isn't really set up, but I really do want to play more of it. It's very, very fun.
My house is not really set up for the VR. I'd have to buy a second computer for proper VR setup.
No. That's fair, yeah.
Also about fighting games, I have this obsession with fighting games where I just buy them just to play against the AI. I do not want to play against other people.
That's so fair though. Honestly, that is so fair.
I've had this one experience with I love DC comics, and I bought like Injustice 2, and I was like, yeah, let's go online. I was happy. I was confident. It was also the same day a DLC came out, and I went up against the guy who had the DLC character with maxed out gear.
Oh no.
All my
Yeah.
hopes and dreams crushed in that one moment.
That's the most unfortunate part of those types of games is when they allow you to get like literal in-game benefits from playing, which like I understand why that happens, but it's kind of similar to pay to win where it's just like, oh well, you just have an advantage over me. Okay, cool. Thanks. Guess I'll die.
I mean, I did play a match where the benefits of the gear didn't matter, where it's like disabled, but still, it was still just a guy who literally like practiced on the other guy for the entire day, and me in the evening just got rigged.
That's fair.
Are there any hobbies you'd like to pick up?
Well, I recently have been doing a lot of art and drawing, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I was always like not great at it and very easily discouraged and stuff. Recently, I've put more time into it, and I finally feel kind of confident with that, so I definitely want to spend more time turning art into like a proper like hobby that I feel confident at, that I enjoy and stuff. Another thing along those lines too is music production. So I use FL Studio as my like DAW for it or whatever. And it's been a lot of fun, something I've played with on and off for a long time now. But I really want to get into actually making like proper music and doing like songs and stuff because I think that sounds super fun. And I think I have the skills to probably do it. So that's kind of like a hobby work thing for me too.
I believe.
Thank you.
Also, your art's pretty good. It's so good.
Yeah, so it's like I got the trifecta: video games, drawing, and music, basically.
The ultimate content creator.
I don't know if you would call it a hobby, but I also like to dress up, and I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to love cosplaying a lot. At some point in the future, I'd like to get back into it, but I
Girl.
buy all my clothes from Hot Topic and, have
Girl.
lots of,
I have a drawer full of costumes.
yeah, that's awesome.
I have like a princess costume. I have a pirate outfit. I have a what was the other one? Oh yeah, a cowgirl outfit. Like I have a bunch.
Cowgirl outfit, that's cool.
Well, it's more like a saloon girl, not cowgirl self.
No, yeah, that's fair. I got you.
Next question: what's the origin of your channel / lore?
So,
I do have a wedding dress, Sophie. You saw
that's
it.
so cute. Aw,
Okay,
love that.
okay. The story behind this wedding dress. I was like shopping in the thrift store, and I saw this wedding dress, and I'm like, it was 35 euros, and I'm like, if I can fit in this, I'm buying this. Even though I don't have a wedding, I will buy this.
You're so valid. That's so fair.
Would you like to say that Nabi has to go back in that bag, or do I have to do it?
Nebby has to go back in the bag.
Usually I say Nabi get in the fucking bag, but that also works.
Oh, Nebby, get in the fluffing bag.
Also, a question from Sophie.
Yes.
You apparently told Sophie your hair tastes like mint choco ice cream. Can she eat it?
Well, I would prefer if you didn't eat it, but yes, it does taste like mint.
Also, here's it.
Anytime anyone asks, I always tell them I taste like mint.
Refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
So, here on the channel, whenever the awoo routine gets done when I have guests, I always ask my guests to awoo with me. Would you like to awoo with me?
Sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Awoo!
Okay, sounds good. I'll keep that in mind whenever they pop up. I'll do that with you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Origin channel lore. Yeah, that was the question.
Yes. So, as for the origin of my channel, I actually have been a Twitch streamer for a bit longer than I've been a VTuber, about
Oh, you
So it
think
started
you're
in like
being
20,
cute? Bitch, I'm
20, yeah, it was like
adorable.
late 2018 basically. And for a long time, I was actually a face cam streamer. I just played games and like, yeah. So after I got to be like September, maybe like July-ish of 2020, it was actually Priscilla. I think you know Priscilla VTuber,
Yeah,
right? The bunny.
yeah,
So
Benoit.
of course, Benoit, love her.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a VTuber. So I started looking into it and I figured out how to be a VTuber. But in doing so, I also found my art mama who has made my model and my designs and stuff, who I loved her art. And I was just like, okay, well, I need that in my life. I want that a lot. So I went ahead and became a VTuber myself. And when I was doing that, I went into things like I was thinking, okay, what are some of the things that I like? Well, I like winter and I like snow and I love mint chocolate. And that's like a wintry thing. So I can just kind of put that together and have kind of a wintry sort of vibe going on. So that was the first part.
Put it all in a
And the
bowl,
second,
mix it up.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then after that, the second part is that I've always loved foxes. They are a very special animal to me. I really, really just adore them a lot. And so I went into looking about being like an Arctic fox kitsune, and my lore just developed from there. I kind of wrote a story from there. And that's how I ended up coming up with the idea of the Winterman Forest, which was my first like chapter of my lore, where I was a shrine maiden in training who worked at a magical shrine that kind of teleported around the world and through different places and stuff. I thought it was a fun idea because it meant that I could visit other VTubers' lore like places, like
That's
canonically or whatever.
funny. That's funny. Consider
And
that's funny considering my lore is that I'm the furrent mama who has a cafe called Red One, which like is the whole
yeah,
premise of Momstos. But the thing
yeah,
is that the cafe is an interdimensional thing that I can travel through dimensions with, and that's how I meet other
yes.
VTubers.
Yeah. That's exactly what the concept of my first like lore was, and it actually evolved into my current lore at the Winter's Dream Cafe, which it's basically what you said, the interdimensional cafe thing. I don't know if you've seen Cafe to Another World or like any of
Yeah.
those types of shows, but they're basically shows that have that same concept of like a cafe that is like the isekai cafe. You go and you come from different worlds, and there are different creatures you've never seen before because they're from different like universes, timelines, worlds, whatever. And I just thought that was such a cool idea that I wanted to make my lore very similar to it. So that's
Mhm.
kind of the same thing I have going on. So we kind of have similar lore actually, which is really
Yeah,
interesting.
that is very cool. The reason
Hmm.
how I made it interdimensional is more of like in DC you have like the House of John Constantine, the House
Yeah.
of Mystery. That's also
Hmm.
interdimensional, and that's how I got the idea.
That's so cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's basically the gist of my lore is I run the Interdimensional Winter's Dream Cafe, and I just see lots of guests all the time. And occasionally, the cafe will be run by Momo or Priscilla, who are the autumn and spring like themed people. So when they're running it, it's the Autumn Dream Cafe and the Spring Dream Cafe, which I think is a cool idea. So overall, it is the Season Dream Cafe. It's just that whenever I'm running it, it's the Winter Dream Cafe.
Cafe collab one.
Yeah, I mean that sounds fun.
Honestly, I would love to like make a design for the cafe. Like
Yeah,
I want somebody. I can't find a background artist for the sake of me, and
that's fair.
I can't make the post because bots flock to it.
Right. Well, I'm learning how to draw backgrounds, so maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Okay, a wee time. Three,
Sorry,
two,
what?
a woo time.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Ah! Perfect.
Here's a question from Dusty. If Minty's hair tastes like mint and she were to give herself a haircut, would the hair technically be mint floss?
I've never thought about that. Probably yes. I kind of. That's funny that you bring that up because do most VTubers think about how they cut their hair or how they style their hair? Because I don't think I've ever heard a single VTuber talk about that. I've seen VTubers get like quote unquote haircuts where they change their hairstyle, but I just kind of, I sort of treat my hair in real life the same way, where I'm just like, it's always the same length, right? And then eventually, if I have to get a haircut, I do, but like, I just don't think about it. I think if I were to cut my hair, it would technically be mint floss. I think that is correct, yes.
Um, the only thing I do with my hair is wash it and comb it.
Fair, yeah. That's basically the same. I'll occasionally, if I'm feeling adventurous, put it in like a ponytail or like put like a little hair clip in it or something. But I mostly just let my hair like lay down straight.
My hair goal is to be able to braid my hair like currently on my VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Like a long
Fair.
braid. That's what I want.
That's fair. Braids are so cute. I love that for you and I support that.
The problem is,
I don't,
even though my hair is like comes to like past my chest, like the tippy tips, it still will not be as long as I wanted to braid. So.
Sure, yeah. Braids take a lot of hair.
What is your brand? Oh wait, this is the elevated pitch question. I had to like say that first.
Oh,
you know
my
what?
brand.
You know what the elevated pitch is, right?
The what?
Elevated pitch.
Elephant picture?
Elephant pitch. No. Basically, the idea of an elevator pitch is you meet like
Oh,
this. You know what it is?
yeah. Like
The-
sell yourself really
Inter-
quick, whatever.
Yeah, in 30 seconds. And
Uh,
go.
Okay. So I would describe myself as a soft, soft-spoken, high-energy VTuber who loves playing games and has a very welcoming personality. And I make lots of animal noises, and I love girls.
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 Bark when girls bark, bark, bark.
Bark, bark, bark.
Now here's a very like tough question, because if you had to rebrand, you couldn't be a fox anymore. You couldn't be a winter fox anymore. Anything about your current brand, what would you be?
So I can't keep anything from my current brand.
No.
Because I actually do have an alternate design where I'm a bird, but it's like themed the same way, where it's like white and like green and like.
Not allowed.
Okay, if that's not allowed, I would most likely become a tanuki. I
Oh.
think that would be really cute. Because I actually, when I was becoming a VTuber, one of the designs I considered was a tanuki girl, kind of based off of Michiru from Brand New Animal, if you're familiar with that.
Let me search it up.
She is very, very cute. She's got like dark blue hair and she has crazy like shape-shifting powers and stuff, and I love her.
I
actually
know this
have her
girl.
like outfit in real life because it's just like a tank top and like some athletic shorts and like a tracksuit jacket. So I literally bought those because I was just like, I want to dress up like Michiru. So I have that IRL. I wear it a lot. And if I was going to rebrand as a different type of VTuber, I would probably do that if I wasn't going to be my like alternate bird form.
I've seen this character before, and she looks hot.
Yeah, I love her. Although I say that, but recently I've actually been wanting to draw like a white tiger character. I had some random motivation for that, so we'll see if that comes to life, and then maybe I'll change my answer. But for now, I would say a tanuki girl.
Here's a question from Mystery. What kind of ferret would you be?
What kind of ferret?
Yeah.
What does shiny ferret look like? Is it
Pink.
orange?
It's pink.
It's pink?
It's pink.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think, would it be possible for me to have a ferret where the stripes, instead of like brown and light brown, are light brown and light green? Because then I could be like a mint chocolate ferret.
Oh my god, yes. Artists get to it.
Sounds cute, just saying.
Honestly, if I were to make an alternate color like you have, I would be a shiny ferret. It's like dead giveaway. Like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like playing around with designs and stuff. I'm not the best character designer or anything, but I love making designs.
The current outfit that I have now, mainly because I'm too lazy to change it, and I love it a lot. It's my anniversary outfit. It's pirate themed, which is I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. I love that. Pirates are the best.
Well, I'm not a pirate.
Oh, wait, you're not a pirate?
No, I'm still a ferret. I just have a pirate outfit.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's fair. Well, you can be a ferret and a pirate ferret, or a purret.
Yeah. There's actually a game called Ferret Scoundrels. I played it with Dog. It's a pirate
Okay.
game where you play as a ferret.
That sounds cool. What the heck?
It is cool.
That sounds so fun.
Here's a question from Astral. What's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon is Alolan Vulpix. I love Alolan Vulpix so much, as you might be able to guess because I'm an Arctic fox. I also like Alolan Ninetales too, but Vulpix is just my sweet little baby, my sweet little soft snow baby. I love her. She's so cute.
She is cute. Okay, here's something I'm still sad by. So I was playing Pokemon Moon on stream, and there's like this one fan with us on the Alolan Vulpix. I found out that Pokemon Moon you can't find an Alolan Vulpix.
You can't find an Alolan Vulpix in Moon?
I was so crying. I was like, no, I want this baby. At first I thought like, oh, if you help the Vulpix, she becomes your friend. And then somebody pointed out, you can't get that Vulpix.
It's because you get Sandshrew instead, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why I have Sun instead of Moon. I didn't remember why I had Sun but not Moon. That literally must be why.
Yeah, I was really sad.
That sucks. Are you doing it on an emulator or on a 3DS?
I did it on an emulator. I streamed it like last year.
Okay.
Yeah. I had
Hard
fun.
to have someone trade to you, unfortunately, but maybe you could use like a Pokemon randomizer and forcibly create a Vulpix starter.
No, I never played Sun and Moon, so I went like blind without like any randomizers.
Yeah.
Another question from Mystery. Would you nom me?
Hump.
Ah! Okay,
Asked and answered.
I want to. How would you be randomized, Sophie?
Well, if you randomized a VTuber, I imagine that they would just have a bunch of different, categories. Like, you would change their species into something random, you would change their color palette into something random, and you would change their, outfit into something random.
Imagine if it's also changed gender, sexuality, and all the other things. That would be
fun.
wacky.
It'd be very silly. You could turn out to be
randomized.
a dog that's orange and wears a customer service outfit. It could just be very random.
Time to hit the randomizer for my rebrand.
Rebrand, wink.
Here's some gaming questions. What's your favorite game of all time and why?
So it's hard for me to pick one favorite game of all time because I do go back and forth on it. Although I think my enduring favorite is possibly Kirby Air Ride. I really loved Kirby Air Ride. It holds a very special place in my heart.
Is that the one where you have a vehicle and get a bunch of power-ups?
Yeah, so the cool thing about Kirby Air Ride is that there's, first of all, 3 different game modes. One is just a racing game, one is a top-down racing game, which is kind of cute, but then the third one is the one that I actually really love and fell in love with, which is called City Trial, where you drive around as Kirby, and up to 3 other Kirbys drive around with you on your little warp stars, and you can get different vehicles and stuff. You have to go around and collect power-ups and participate in events and do random overworld things to get your vehicle as powerful as possible. And then at the end, it puts you into a randomized mini game, and you have to compete in it with whatever power-ups you got. So you don't know if you're going to be in a game about racing as fast as possible, or jumping as high as possible, or fighting each other and having as much damage as possible. You're not sure, so you just have to get as many power-ups as you can.
The real Fall Guys we never got.
Yeah, it's so fun. I 100% into that game 3 times. I would definitely play more of it if I could. It's an old game on the GameCube though, so it's you'd have to emulate it and do some online stuff, which I still want to figure out at some point. I think that'd be fun to set up.
I think it's Dolphin emulator, right? For GameCube?
Yeah, you could do it with Dolphin, I'm pretty sure. And then you could use I forget the name of it, but some sort of service that lets you connect to people online to play.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, I just love that game so much. It's very special to me. If I was gonna pick other favorites, there'd be like a bunch of things that come up there. I really love like Sonic Adventure 2.
Mhm.
I really love like right now my current favorite is like Guilty Gear Strive,
Mm,
but like I bounce around a lot. I have lots of changing favorites all the time.
I get that. That is completely valid.
Hmm.
I
And it,
remember I remember the time where I called Overwatch the best game in the world. How dumb I
Overwatch.
was.
Oh, you're so valid, though. You're so valid. Because like there was a time where it was probably my favorite game too, and like how wrong I was. It was fun. I'll admit it was very fun.
Mm. Um,
But yeah, I think another game that I put up on my favorites is probably Tetris, specifically Tetris 99, because I love that game. I love that game so much.
Here's a question from Mystery.
Hmm.
What do you think of the sweet and adorable Sophie?
I love Sophie. She's a sweetheart. I haven't known her for quite as long as like some of the other people I've known and stuff, but
Mhm.
she's very, very sweet, and I'm very glad to have met her and to be friends with her.
She's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
so happy she is in my life.
yeah. She's very kind, and I'm blessed to have her in my life.
Mhm. I forgot what I wanted to say.
Oh, that's fine. Also, Arctic Fox Gang.
Arctic Fox Gang. Yeah, Fox VTubers when they see a non-Fox VTuber, one of us.
Basically,
Sophie's been trying to make me a fox for ages now, and I'm just
the
like, no.
VTuber pipeline. The VTuber pipeline. It's any VTuber becomes a fox and then eventually becomes a bird. And that's how it goes.
She's yet to succeed though, into turning
That's
me.
fair. And if you're not a fox, you have to be kind of like fox related. So, like, to be honest, a furry isn't that different from a fox, right? You're like a furry, silly mammal that like does strange, silly things, and you're cute, and you've got like the whole bouncy thing going on, and you probably would scream like a fox, right?
I can scream like a fox.
Yeah.
I play League, so I know how to scream.
Wow, today I learned that every League of Legends player is actually a fox. That's why they scream so much, right?
Pauses for a minute. Wait, I'm a fox now. No.
Yo, Astro's a fox now because he played League of Legends. Get wrecked.
I was a fox all along.
I stopped playing League of Legends, but I played long enough to become a fox.
Technically, you still play it with Valorant.
Yeah, I do still play Valorant, and I occasionally will play League if people like really want to like play ARANs or even maybe normals. Rarely, occasionally, I will once in a while go back and play it. But it used to make me so angry that I just like had to stop for a long time. It was
I
one of the few types of games that actually upset me, whereas most times when I'm playing a rage game, I'll just die and laugh about it. In League, I was like, actually, oh man, this is upsetting.
For me, it's like I can have fun in League. I will ignore most things, but there's like
Mhm.
a few things in League that will like physically like upset me and get me mad.
Yeah.
One of those things is if I have to play against the Lux, I will almost guarantee to get angry that game.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
I know
It can
this
be
from
so frustrating.
myself. Well, you kind of already answered this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. What genre of games do you like?
What kind of games?
Hmm.
So earlier I said like challenging games and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but I think it's more specific to say that I just kind of pick whatever I feel like and then latch onto it because like often it'll be a challenging game, but sometimes I'll fall in love with like a Pokemon game in particular, or like Pokemon is an overarching thing, or I'll really enjoy a platformer for a while or something, so like Sonic Adventure, or I really enjoy like let me go through my like list here on Steam. I really love like roguelikes and stuff. Recently, I've been playing like Peglin a bunch. I love like any sort of game that involves some level of strategy and a decent amount of like action, basically. So I typically don't like turn-based RPGs all that much, but there are some exceptions, specifically like Paper Mario and like the Mario and Luigi saga because they have like action commands and stuff.
I love
So I like
that.
those. Yeah, they're like a bit more engaging for me because I have like ADHD brain that makes me just
Yes.
want that level of activity in my game. If I'm playing a turn-based game, not that it's not fun, but sometimes I'll find myself being less engaged if I can't like do like a challenging sort of like
I get that
real-time
100%.
input kind of thing.
I am not a fan of JRPGs. I can't
Yeah,
focus on them.
I think
But
they're really cool,
I
but
think
I
they're
just
cool, but I
personally,
can't focus on them. And
yeah,
Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi just, it's my jam for some
they're
reason.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, I love those games a lot. They are so fun. It's kind of why I evolved from like playing mostly Nintendo games into like FPS games though, and like stuff like that is just because I enjoy real time like high RPS or whatever, like I forget the term for
RTS.
it. APM, actions per minute or whatever. Like
Ah,
I love high activity games. I'm very very ADHD, so I have to be like go 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 go.
go, go, go. Oh my god. I think that explains why in Legends of Runeterra I like fast-paced decks where it's like action, action,
Mhm.
action. And I have noticed like there's like this one deck in Legends of Runeterra. It's the
Mhm.
Evelyn deck. It summons a lot of things, and those summons go on to a new champ on a new character that is summoned, and it's very like high active. And then
Oh, yeah.
other things like Kane is very like more like card, card, and it's not a lot of
Right.
action.
I feel that because I actually play a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the decks I like to play are usually the ones that have a bunch of like, you get to special summon this and put this in your deck and draw this out of your graveyard and draw this out of your deck and draw this from your like fusion deck. And like you get to do all this crazy stuff on your turn. And then you still can do things during your opponent's turn. It's like you are never resting. You are always watching what's happening and going, okay, where's my chance? When do I do this? Like, it's a lot more active that way for me because it's just very fast paced. I used to play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh back when it was a lot slower and more simple. And I summon my Blue Eyes White Dragon and win the game. Like, but I really like it a lot more now with the higher action decks.
Um, wait, words. I lost them. Gone with
That's
the
okay.
wind. I think the
Sophie
Fox
says we should
Fighters is
try
taking
playing
over.
Ezreal. And I agree with that because Ezreal is a really fun character and so much of just like button spamming and clicking like crazy.
I have okay. Recently, one of my favorite champion right now is Quinn. It's the
I love
first.
Quinn.
Yeah, she's amazing. It's the first champion I've actually like thoroughly learned and like have multiple pages for in my runes.
Heck
And
yeah.
I don't play at top because my friend who rages along
Mhm.
likes to play top moist, so I play her ball as ADC. And how I play it is
Fair.
like I just wait. I
That's
just
fair.
wait. I
I was
just
gonna say the safe way to play, like as an EDC, you can be aggressive and get advantages, but like if you just wait, you're
be-
fine.
because
Like you'll get fed eventually if you just CS, right?
I've noticed that the strongest playstyle for Quinn as an ADC is wait for mistakes from the enemy, because her E is
Yeah.
such a strong tool for like punishments, and
True, yeah.
she works best with hook champions or disabling champions.
Right, because she can just hit them with E and then it's like, oh well, you're blinded and I'm doing extra damage to you and I've gotten away from you. Like,
The main reason I also like Quinn, in the mid game, you don't have to engage with anyone. You just push.
hmm
That's
yeah, you can kill
her,
things really fast with your like marker passive for extra
yeah.
attack speed and stuff, and like your Q for like AoE damage and stuff. It's really nice. I used to play Quinn a lot.
He is so fun. It's like, oh, the enemy is coming. Let me just bird up.
Bird up, bum bum bum.
Dun, dun, dun. Flies away
Quinn
to top
also,
lane.
she also falls into my love of birds. So
I the reason I started playing Quinn is for the new skin. She got a Star Guardian skin, And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing.
She did?
Yeah, I'll show you.
I haven't seen it. That sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
The Star Guardian set is my favorite set by far.
I mean, yeah, girls, you know?
Yeah, I have on my wall in my room 2 Per Guardian posters where it's like little Star Guardians as cats. Oh, that's so good.
Can I find the chroma that I use? Is it in
That's
here?
amazing, and I love that.
It's really cool. I say blue chroma and I can't find it.
Ah, that's fair.
It
Blue
shows me.
chroma sounds good though.
The
Maybe
funny
you
thing,
like blue.
the funny thing about the blue chroma is her outfit becomes like blue with white and pink.
Oh,
Yeah.
trans colors.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Also-
cool.
Also, Talia got a Star Guardian skin, and through then, it got confirmed that she's trans.
What? That's cool.
Yeah. I literally
love
got
that.
I literally got that Talia skin for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would too. That's awesome.
Trans girls, when there's a trans character in games, must have.
Literally. Me getting into Guilty Gear because Brisket is in the game.
There's 2 reasons why I would buy Guilty Gear. It's obviously Brisket. And the second one is Bicon because, oh my god, she looks so hot.
Yeah, he's pretty good. That's fair. It's funny because I don't even actually play Brisket, but I just play Ramlethal because she's a girl with big swords. But I love that Brisket is in the game.
Yeah, she's amazing. I remember, okay, talking about trans characters. Well, trans characters, Astolf is not a trans character, he's just a guy who likes to dress up in skirts.
Yeah, true. But
He actually confirmed it in a game, so I can
Yeah.
stand by this. But my mom, I had a statue of Astolfo, I bought it on a con, and my mom was like, who's this girl? I'm like, Mom, that's not a girl.
that's so valid, though. That's so valid.
Oh, great.
Mean.
The ducks.
Love those ducks.
L underscore M
Those are good
underscore
ducks.
rain entered the route with 2
By the
green.
way, it's accompanied with metal music. Would you like to have coffee?
That's amazing.
Also, I agree with Sophie. We need to make a VTuber fighting game.
Yeah.
But all the
really
foxes
love-
share the same moves.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. I do love the idea of that though. I think you could really easily get like some pixel art sprites for them and stuff, and it would be really good.
Honestly, I would have a lot of tail attacks because obviously.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Also, how would I fit on the screen? My character is 7 feet tall. With a 7 feet tail.
You know, it's fine. The hitbox doesn't have to be accurate.
Hitbox is smallest hitbox on the biggest character.
I would personally fight with ice magic.
Foxes run
And-
magic.
I think it's a cool idea to be able to make ice weapons and fight with those.
Oh, a bit like
I would do that.
bit like Sub-Zero.
Yeah, and I could do it'd be cool because I could make like a giant ice scythe as one of my moves as a reference to the fact that Momo has a scythe.
Ooh.
I think that could be cool.
My weapon would literally be my fists. I'm that dumbass that goes fists.
That's fair. Fist fighters are honestly awesome though. Brawlers like Yang and like Tifa and like there's the one in Blaze Blue I really like. I can't remember the name of, but like they can be really cool. They can be great characters.
So here's a funny story. I'm really surprised about the outcome of it. So I got introduced to Final Fantasy XIV, like everyone on the internet.
Yeah.
I started it out, I created a character, and I was like, let's create a Rodigan. She looks cool, big buff character. And let's make her a monk, a fist fighter, because funny, haha. And then one of my friends who plays it is like, you're a fucking unicorn. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Rodigan females are rare.
Oh, that's funny.
And my other friend who saw my character in game was like, whoa, big lady. And that has become a meme.
That's so valid, though. So valid.
Here's a question from Mystery. What do you think of my big fluffy tail?
I love your big floofy tail. I also am an owner of a big floofy tail, and I think that people that have big floofy tails are the supreme VTubers. Any VTuber with a big floofy tail is blessed and based and the best, and I love them.
I will show you something.
Yes.
It's a not so secret.
Okay.
First,
Incoming picture of just a giant tail and nothing else.
it's something else. You'll know what you know what it means if I send
That's
it.
fair. Although I think it's funny the idea, because my tail was smaller in my first design and has gotten a lot bigger. I love the idea that it just keeps getting bigger and overtakes me eventually. That's so cute.
Look at the tail.
It's so floofy.
It's so big.
I love that. What the heck?
Also, it's funny considering my character from tail to top of head is 14 feet long.
14 feet. That's so long.
The reason I'm so big and long is furred. Furred is 1 meter and 8.
That makes sense.
And I wanted to like incorporate like furred being huge and like to a humanized design. So 7
Yeah.
feet.
That's fair.
Next question. What's a childhood game you'd like to replay? I mean, I guess you already answered that.
Well, Kirby, you're right a little bit. But if I was gonna pick like a childhood game to replay that I like don't remember that much of, but I did enjoy, it would probably be. Have you ever heard of Power Gem or Power Stone? It was like a fighting game on the Dreamcast. It's like a 3D fighter, and it was really cool. It's hard to describe, but it was like the first 3D fighting game that I ever played, and it was just really, really interesting. Had a lot of cool mechanics, and like you could like transform your character. Like every character had like a transformation where they went super mode, and it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I would maybe do Sonic Riders because I haven't played that in forever, and I love that game, and it's super fun.
My first fighting game, and my headcanon is that this is a trans game. I don't know why it's my headcanon. Tekken 4.
I love Tekken 4. That's the first like game I got on the PS2, I think.
I played the shit out of Tekken 4, and my
Yeah.
headcanon is that it's a trans game.
That's fair. I mean, I would agree with that. I don't know why, but I would agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know why either. It's just boom. Decided here and now.
It seems fitting, you know?
Yeah. I've heard of
Why
like
not?
a lot of I've heard some trans friends say it's one of their favorites, so I'm like really convinced it is one.
That makes sense.
I
agree.
The Fallout New Vegas of the fighting games.
That's fair. Actually, that's so fair.
We should like make trans games for every genre of games.
Yeah. I love that. I support that. Gonna become a game dev right now.
Yeah. Gonna make it trans Souls likes.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
Honestly, I would love that.
I do love that idea.
Mm-hmm. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
What mobile games do you like to play? Could be anything from gachas to toilets games to whatever. I lost my words there for a sec.
You're valid. Yeah, so like mobile games?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really play that many anymore. I haven't really played any in a while, but when I first got my like smartphone, I really did enjoy playing like the stereotypical like doodle jump and like mega jump and like cut the rope, like those types of silly puzzle games and like action jumping games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you just like tilt the phone and like stuff. So those types of games are really fun, really simple little things. Like even like Fruit Ninja, stuff like that. I played FGO for a little while. It was the only real gacha game I ever played because I got into Fate with Priscilla, and it was very funny because her favorite character is Astolfo,
Let's go.
and my first rare character I drew in FGO was Astolfo.
I
And she
started
was
playing.
so jealous.
I started playing FGO because of a sofa. I'm like, yeah, I want a sofa to play FGO.
Yeah. No, that's so fair. That is so fair. And I played a decent amount. I played for a while. I don't remember why I stopped exactly, but I just kind of hit like a wall after a while and was like, hmm, I don't feel like spending money on this, and it's really slow to play if I don't, so I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah, I sometimes have like highs of the game where I played a lot, and then lows of the game where I just log in.
Yeah, fair, 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 totally fair. I I enjoyed Flappy Bird also.
Also,
But yeah, I don't know. Mostly I use my phone for like social media, and if I'm gonna play games on it, they're like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or like Pokemon Unite, things that I can like play also on my computer, like TFT even. Like so I tried out the Ruby game, Ruby like Grim Eclipse or whatever it's called, and that was fun for a little while, but didn't hold my interest. That's my main problem with most mobile games is they don't hold my interest as well as other games do.
I
Although
talking
I
about
did
fate.
find sorry.
This is
I
my
did find
baby.
yeah. Aw, wait a second. I recognize them. Who is that? Is that
That's Paris, Paris of Troja. Uh,
okay?
they're,
Okay.
they're my little baby boy. I love them.
Cute.
Also, the sheep are actually Apollo,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody likes Apollo, which is funny
That's
because
fair. I don't
there's
know.
there's this one like story like for powering up a character, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's about Paracelsus, and he like smells like a stinky god here, and picks up Apollo, throws him in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really funny because
That is
afterwards
very silly.
Apollo and Artemis join the conversation, and in an FGO, Orion is like a tiny like teddy bear, and he's like getting angry, and he's like, now it's my size, I can fight him.
That's fair.
But yeah, continue.
Um, I recently was just saying that I don't really play a ton of mobile games because they don't really hold my interest as well. There are definitely some really fun ones, but I would just typically prefer to play the games that I would play on mobile on desktop. Like I would rather play Genshin on desktop. I'd rather play TFT on desktop. I'd rather play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on desktop. So I do have access to them, and they're fine, but I've never really been too much of a mobile gamer myself.
Genshin on mobile is not fun. It heats your phone
Yeah.
up. It
It's
just
like okay at first, but it gets pretty bad pretty fast.
Next question. What PC games do you like to play for the moment? And why is it
PC
Guilty Gear?
games? Yeah, it's definitely Guilty Gear is my current obsession. I started playing it for a handful of reasons. The main one, of course, just being like Bridget. But I've wanted to play fighting games for a long time and never really had the consistent dedication to put into like playing them without getting frustrated and stopping. However, my friend Ember Talks recently hosted a Guilty Gear tournament, and I signed up for it and played in it. I got one win, so I went 1-2 and lost. And it made me a little bit sad when I lost, but I got back up and kept on playing. And that's a kind of big moment for me because I've never gotten upset at a fighting game and then went back to play it. So
Yeah.
my current obsession is Guilty Gear because it's like the first fighting game that I've been consistently able to come back to and keep playing even after frustrations and stuff.
That is amazing.
Other than Guilty Gear, though, I am excited to start playing Cult of the Lamb. I just got it recently, and it sounds really fun. It's like the hot new game everyone's playing, of course. But other games I'm playing are like Hollow Cure and 20 Minutes Till Dawn. Those types
Yes.
of like Vampire Survivors games that are really fun.
Hey, very big news. The next update for Hollow Cure is coming within the week.
Yes, that's so exciting. I'm going to have to stream that. That sounds
Same.
amazing.
Same, because they're gonna add Fubuki and stuff.
Yes, I need Fubuki in my life.
That's
I haven't even unlocked all the current characters though. I haven't played enough because I only stream it and I've only streamed it one time. So I want to play more of it, but perhaps soon.
yeah.
I've also been playing like Monster Hunter Rise because I haven't finished the new DLC for that. And Peglin is my weird niche obsession game, which I don't know if you're familiar with it,
I
but
know about it. I've seen you play it. I've seen.
mhm.
I've also seen Bricky talk about it. How it's like one of the most satisfying games of all time.
Mm-hmm. It's so fun. I really like it because it combines Peggle, which I already loved, and roguelikes, which I also already loved, and it's just very good for my brain specifically.
It keeps you focused.
Right, it also combines like deck building, like in Slay the Spire, which was another favorite game of mine. So it's just like a bunch of my favorite games all put together.
I love roguelikes. I don't own a lot of roguelikes. I'd love to own Binding of Isaac and Hades. I've
Yeah,
played.
I haven't played Hades, but I think I will like it, and I want to get to it at some point. But Isaac, I adore that game. I 100%ed it all the way up until the newest DLC, and then I haven't played the newest DLC. But it's so fun.
I think roguelikes have something on the ADHD brain that just keeps you like going.
Yeah, it's so good for your brain because it's just like always engaging. It's always something different. Every room is unique. Like the enemies are different every time. The items you get are different every time. It's very, very satisfying for that like ADHD brain.
Uh, Next question. Are there console games you like to play for the moment?
Console games I like to play, funny enough, are also Guilty Gear Strive. I have it on the PS4, so I play it there too. If I had other console games, though, I would probably mention, of course, Tetris 99 and like Ring Fit on the Switch, and like Unite, of course, I guess, is a console game technically.
It is.
I also been playing recently, but I played not that long ago, and I want to get back to playing it because I never finished it. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Same.
That game is very fun. I had so much fun with it, and I want to keep playing it because it's just very, very fun. It's a unique take on Pokemon, and I really enjoy it.
My problem is I don't play a lot on my Switch because I'm usually like at my PC. I can play it at my PC, but
That's fair.
I feel like it just takes my attention away from all the cute gay people in my screen.
Fair. That's kind of why when I play my Switch, the majority of the time I'm playing with a capture card on my PC.
I don't have that.
Yeah, that's fair. I specifically went and got one like a year ago or something because I was like, I need this to play Tetris 99. I guess it was like 2 years ago. But I was like, I need to be able to stream Tetris 99. I like this game too much. I need to be able to play it.
I
So
need to show my
now I have it.
skills.
Gotta flex on the hater.
Yeah, I specifically got like an app and like program for my computer to stream my phone because sometimes when I have my FateGo moments where my highs, I'm like, I need to stream this.
Right. Not fair. And like, it's funny because that comes up, but like, girls get like a bad rep online for being bad at video games, and like YouTubers especially get a rep for being stupid. I of course do because I call myself stupid all the time because I am very forgetful. But I love to like have people think that I'm like very forgetful and ditzy and stupid, and then I pull up Tetris 99 and I start like playing at a million miles an hour, and they're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, girls are actually surprisingly good at gaming. Who would have known?
Right? It's like, wait a second. I thought you were dumb.
Okay, I think this is still one of Sophie's best accomplishments in gaming. So I got introduced into Souls-likes through Dark Souls 3. I got it gifted by a friend. I love it. It's got me
I
into
love
Souls-likes.
the Souls games. Yeah,
It took me 5 tries for Gundyr. And I'm
that's
like,
not that bad.
on a night. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the burial gift and stuff. And we got Sophie, Dark Souls 3. She did Gundyr in 3 tries without knowing what
That's
to do.
so good.
I was so proud in that moment of her. I was like, oh my god, you did it better than me.
That's awesome.
I will keep like flexing with that Sophie moment, even though it's not my moment.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's awesome. I really love the Souls games. They're so fun. I want to go back and play a bunch of them because I like did not like. It's been a long time since I've played Dark Souls 1 or 2 especially, and I'd really love to like do them again.
Dark Souls 1 is so confusing. I started playing it, never continued it for some weird reason.
That's
But
fair. It's definitely the most confusing of the games just because it's like the least linear and you can go in more directions and stuff. So like it's very easy to get lost and it's very easy to not know where to go next because it doesn't really tell you very clearly all the time. Whereas in like Dark Souls 2 and 3, in my opinion at least, it's very hard to get lost because pretty often it's just like,
hey,
well, there's
good
only
day.
one path left. Like, yeah.
But sometimes when I see people like complain about Dark Souls 3 bosses, I'm just like, I have no issue with this boss. What are you
Right.
talking about?
Right. Fair.
Like, my friends really struggle. Okay, I can get this from most people. The guy and what's the guy that has like the shadow with the two swords again?
Shadow with the two swords.
In
In Dark
the
Souls 2?
three, in
Dark
like the
Souls 3.
church, in the church,
Church Shadow with 3 swords. Dark Souls 3.
in the snowy area.
Snowy area. That's Pontiff Sullivan?
Yeah, Pontiff.
Yeah.
I had no issues with Pontiff because like I have my dodge rolls on par, and my friend really struggled with Pontiff to the point where he like rage quit the game multiple times, and
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, myself, I'm like, Pontiff. I agree that Pontiff is hard, but he's not that hard, is he?
That's super fair. I did struggle with him, but not that much.
Yeah.
But I'm also like very familiar with the Souls games. By the time I fought him, I had like played Dark Souls 1 and 2 a whole bunch of times. So like that definitely helps a lot. Like by the time Dark Souls 3 came out, I was pretty much a Souls veteran. So like I first tried Gundyr and it wasn't even that significant to me just because like I had played the other games and beat all of the other bosses and everything.
I did that first parry in your Souls-like experience. That first ever parry is it just gives you
Agreed.
adrenaline.
Agreed.
I have mine
so
clipped.
good.
I have mine clipped. People were talking in VC. I was just like, I want to practice parrying with my weird ass fucking fist build. and
Sure.
and
Parrying
I,
is very satisfying.
and I parried perfectly, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
That's fair. It's exciting.
Yeah. And then you forget completely how to parry. Then,
Yeah, it happens.
Sophie has a question. Will you teach her
Yeah.
Tetris?
I could teach you Tetris. The thing about it, though, is that I can teach you the basics and some tricks like T-spinning and certain things like that, and like building 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide, etc. But I only ever really got super good at Tetris by just playing a ton. So I can definitely help teach you the basics, but you're gonna have to just play a bunch of Tetris and accept that you'll probably lose some games. But you'll get there if you want to.
He was
I'd be
like,
happy to share the secrets, though.
this is a thing that I did on like the Tetris mobile app on the Endless. I was like commentating over myself, like, oh my god, she did it.
That's fair, yeah.
ADHD brain must stay active.
True, true.
Next question. What would the ultimate game from your favorite franchise be? And with favorite franchise, it could be a book series, TV series, anime, whatever. Could be anything. I've had Lily did say she wants a Love Life fighting game, which I'll never forget.
That sounds great. That's a hard question. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for like different options like that. I think a series that would be really cool to receive like a story-based action RPG would be the Percy Jackson series.
Oh my god,
I
yes.
would really love to see like kind of like a Telltale sort of game with like the the Final Fantasy VII remake, how it has like lifetime, like real-time combat with like superpowers and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that sort of system would be really cool for Percy Jackson.
I love
'Cause,
Percy Jackson.
I adore that series, and it needs some sort of like accessible media for people to partake in because the movies are terrible. The book series is incredible, and there's just no games and like there's no TV show or anything. They are working on theoretically the like the series, the TV series with Rick Riordan, who's like working on it also, which is exciting because he wasn't a part of the movies that came out and were bad. So I think it would be very cool to see. I think that would be very awesome. I
I'm
guess the
fini-
only other thing that would be cool is a game just like that, but for Ruby, because I
I
adore Ruby.
I am I like Greek men, and my real name now, uh, kind of gives it dead away. I changed my name to Artemis.
Oh, hell yeah. That's amazing. There was actually a time when I was experimenting with different names that I used that name as well. I didn't actually stick with it, but like, it's a good name. It's a very good name.
My temporary name was Monica as as a fucking meme.
That's fair. It's a good name. Unironically, it is a great name.
So here were some options that I was thinking of. I wanted the Greek name, definitely. And my two options that I really wanted were the most of all Artemis, because badass name. But the other badass name that I had was Canis. Like,
Okay.
yeah, the actual Greek
cool.
trans hero.
Fair, yeah. It's funny because I actually, before I knew Greek mythology at all and read Percy Jackson or anything, I just liked the name Artemis because my sister bought Artemis Fowl books. So I saw the name Artemis Fowl and I was like, Artemis is a cool name. And I told myself that if I ever like had a kid or something, I would probably name them Artemis. And then like fast forward to me reading Percy Jackson and learning about Greek mythology, and I was like, oh, so Artemis is even a better name than I thought. Like, because she's so good.
Here's the thing. My mom does not know anything about mythology or history or anything.
Sure.
I said like I want to go with the name Artemis if that's okay with you, and my mom's like that sounds like a boy name. My dad's like, how is that a boy name?
The funny thing is that I have known some boys named Artemis, but it's definitely more commonly a female name. It's literally like Artemis, the Greek goddess of the hunt. Like, she is the basis of the name, like the origin of it and all that. So like it's pretty hard to call
Goddess
that a
of the
boy
moon
name.
and the hunt. Like, oh my god.
Now, I do understand if you shorten it, right? If you come up with a nickname of like Artie, that can kind of be closer to like a boy name because people might think of like Arthur. But even then, I think it's like a stretch to say that.
With the rocket launch at NASA of the Artemis, my colleagues were like, hey, you were on the news,
Oh my gosh.
And I started like trending on Twitter. I took a thingy of it and posted on Twitter like, look, I'm trending.
That's so good.
Next question, the last one of the gaming section. What's your favorite game developer for the moment? And for the moment is like very important.
Sure, yeah. I think my favorite game dev right now. Do we mean like big game devs or like indie game devs too?
Any game
Any?
dev. Could be your
think-
neighbor.
For the moment, and I say this with like for the moment, like you said, is the key word. Maybe Arc Systems, because all of their fighting games are beautiful. They made like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which I think is my favorite art in a fighting game ever. They made like Dragon Ball Fighters. They made like everything. They make so many good games. They are part of Guilty Gear, I'm pretty sure too. Like, I really, really like their games. They're very well made, very beginner. I just double checked. It was Arc System Works on Guilty Gear as well. They just have a lot of polish on their games, and they often end up being much more beginner friendly than other fighting games because they have mechanics built in to help new players, which is something I really appreciate as somebody that's wanted to get into fighting games but hasn't really been able to.
some fighting games be like, here, have the button names, but not the button prompts.
Right, right. And specifically Guilty Gear in particular is really cool because it has all the like training modes and like tutorials and stuff you can go through, like mission mode that teaches you all of the mechanics of the game and how to do them. And it gives you like a try this thing out 5 times, and if you get it 3 out of 5, you pass kind of thing, which is like really cool and very helpful. So that's probably my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Is it
Because
fair to say that the Sonic team is also a secret second
yeah,
favorite?
yeah, that's fair, completely valid. There are no wrong answers here. Except when you say
Well-
Blizz, then I'm sorry, but
No, that's fair. That's fair. Pending Sonic Frontiers. We'll see how that is.
people with the trend with Sonic games, people are really like, I mean, I've heard.
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay footage of it, and it looks like it could be really fun, though. So I'm keeping optimistic. I will wait for it to come out and see how it is. But I won't be too disappointed if it's not great, but I would love it if it was great. I'm really hopeful that it'll be great.
I remember two moments in my history. I was super hyped for like Fallout 4. Every time I saw the ad on TV, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that game. I have the collector's edition. Woo! And I'm glad I enjoyed it. And then my dumbass ordered the collector's edition the day it got announced on E3.
Oh no. That's fair.
I was so disappointed in myself. But to be fair, I will vouch for this. Fallout 76 got a lot better. In the beginning, it
That's
was shit. It was complete and utter garbage. Now,
Yeah, it kind of was like
it's not
should
the,
have been early access. Like,
it's not the best Fallout game, I will admit, but it's at least
Yeah.
like enjoyable now.
yeah, that's good at least.
Here's some streaming questions. They're not a lot, but there's enough.
Sure, yeah.
Why do you stream?
Well, when I started streaming, it was initially just because before streaming, I actually made some YouTube videos and stuff. I like tried to do Let's Plays and things like that on YouTube and stuff. I've always really loved video games. They've been a very big part of my life. I've always enjoyed them. They've always been like the thing I look forward to when I come home, kind of thing, right? So they got me through some hard times in my life, and they're very important to me specifically. I really, really, really love video games. So to me, being able to do Let's Plays and like stream gaming stuff is really exciting as a prospect for something that I could theoretically do as a job in the future. And like when I started out, it was just a hobby, but the possibility for it to become a job was so exciting to me that I just like I had to try it, right? I had to give it a try because worst case scenario, I was still playing games. I was still having fun doing the things I would be doing anyway. And over time it's evolved, and now I just kind of love streaming especially. I didn't start this way, but now that I am more experienced and like have been streaming for longer and I'm a VTuber and all this stuff, I look forward to streaming so much because I love to get the chance to hop on and like there'll be people who want to talk to me and there'll be people who come to hang out and like chill while I play a game or like talk about something or do something weird or silly or random. And that's so exciting to me. It's so fun. I love knowing that I can help like bring some positivity to their lives too, just because I enjoy it. It's like a nice positive feedback cycle because them being there makes me happy, streaming makes me happy, and then me being happy provides like a nice welcoming happy atmosphere which helps brighten their days a little bit. So it's just like it feeds back into itself, right?
It does.
So yeah, the reason I'm a streamer initially was just because I loved video games and I wanted to be like a professional gamer theoretically someday in the future. And it's evolved into I love streaming. I love being like an entertainer. I love hosting like people and events and just I don't know, it's just very fun. It's a very, very fun thing to me.
Here's a question that I just added because this
Yeah.
is a really good question for streamers that have been on the platform a long time. how did you deal with like the times where you're like had that imposter syndrome phase where you're like
Yeah.
you thought
So,
like it wasn't worth it, you should just quit, like those
mhm.
moments, how did you deal with them, if I may ask?
So I'm pretty lucky that from the onset, I kind of like I streamed for maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years to like no one. At
Mm-hmm.
most, like three people, and like two of them were like my phone and my computer.
Uh-huh.
Like I streamed to very, very, very small groups for a long time, and I basically told myself, that's fine because I'm just going to keep doing this. It's something that I like doing. I'm still getting to play video games,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be doing this anyway, so I might as well do it with a small chance that theoretically someday something cool could happen. Some people would want to come and hang out or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I had that mentality going into it, I have a pretty big advantage over a lot of other like VTubers and streamers because even if things are bad, I don't really want to give up because it's
Yeah.
still in my brain is like, well, I just want to do this because it's something I enjoy. And the theoretical, if things go well in the future, is so exciting to me that I don't mind if things aren't perfect right now, you know?
Yeah. For
So
yeah, finish.
that's,
Continue.
yeah, that's like a big thing for me is just keeping the hope up and knowing that just because numbers might be down now, or because I haven't gotten an audience yet, or because, no one cares right now, that's fine because I'm still having fun. I'm still doing what I want and working on myself as a person. And that's what matters more to me
Yeah.
because my content will be better the more I practice, speaking eloquently and well, and the more I focus on like being able to keep up a conversation and talk about random things through my day. And
Yeah.
like I'll kind of become a better person. And the more that happens, the more likely it is that people will want to come and hang out and play games and be friends and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, for me, when I have this lows, I'm like, I'm like the same. Like, just keep going. It's
Right.
right now. You might feel bad, but it's just lies you're telling yourself. And
Right. I think that content creation is especially a fickle like field where some days you could have amazing numbers and then the next day maybe it's back to normal or even worse than before. And that's just something you kind of have to get used to and accept. It's not impossible to like deal with, but it can be very depressing if you like are doing a lot better for any number of reasons and then
yeah.
suddenly for any other number of reasons outside of your control you're doing worse. Like recently a lot of people have gone back to school, so a lot of viewership is down and people get very discouraged by that because they don't understand that it's not them being bad, it's just the circumstances of like the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing is a lot of people who get imposter syndrome and stuff think they aren't like good enough or they should give up or their numbers are down or whatever. But I think that that's kind of a symptom of a bigger problem, which is that they are too focused on like success and like the numbers aspect of it and trying to be quote unquote successful or popular or whatever. When in my opinion, I think that content creation, I actually made a post about this the other day, but in my opinion, content creation should be something that you are passionate about, you love to do, and you should be making things you are proud of. Even if all that is streams where you play a game and you like it, or like videos where you play a game and you like it, or you're doing a stream where you just talk to people. As long as you are proud of your content, it doesn't matter what your numbers are like because like you need to just work on making things that
You enjoy.
you are proud of. That's my big thing.
I usually tell them that like so some of those people are too focused on their goal. I'm like, calm down. You're still working on it. You're
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
focused. You're too focused on the finish line when you're still on the road ahead to it.
Right. And that's the thing too, right? The journey is like the fun part in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like obviously the destination is really cool and exciting, but you got to take the time to appreciate the people around you as you go. Everybody who shows up, even if you only have one viewer, that's still one person hanging out with you, right? If you have like a few friends, you should appreciate them. They are there to support you. They like you. They like what you're doing. You need to like appreciate what you have and like there are people who will get to the point that they have, and I mean, I've been guilty of this too, because the numbers just like they do this to you, but you can be streaming to like, I don't know, 40 people and be sad about it because just last week you were streaming to 60 or something. And like,
Yeah.
that's silly. It's very silly because that's still so much, right? That's still a lot of people. And people kind of lose that perspective sometimes because it doesn't matter to them that they're streaming to 40 people, which is something that lots of people would love to have. They just think, oh, my numbers are worse than they were last week. It's very easy to compare yourself to others or compare yourself to your past self. And it's just very stressful and unhealthy. And I very much encourage people to focus less on their current level of success and more on their current level of like content that they are happy with. Like,
Yeah.
for me, a big thing has been working on drawing, art, and like making music. I want to get better at those things. So I've been practicing those a lot.
Yeah.
For a long time, I didn't feel like I was good at telling stories or keeping up a consistent energy in streams. So I worked on that. It's something that I've been working on and I'm still working on all the time. Every time I stream, I'm practicing and practicing and practicing. Like, it doesn't matter if my numbers are up or down because I'm still getting to be a better content creator each time I stream.
For me, personally, my best stream, I will never forget this one. It was the second month of my first year affiliate. And I was streaming the One Piece Pirate Warriors game, the newest one.
Yeah.
And I suddenly my friend and mod Jerry came into the chat, and he was curious, like, what was One Piece about? And I proceeded to go on a 3-hour tangent about One Piece.
That's so valid.
My only viewer was Jerry. I got Jerry into One Piece, and I consider that my best stream.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Because I was allowed to rant about something that I absolutely adore and I'm passionate about.
Right. And sometimes that's all that matters, right? You don't have to worry about like how good your numbers exactly are. You just need to worry about, did you have fun? Do you feel proud of yourself? Did you learn something? Like,
yeah,
that's one of those things that like I've talked about it a little bit to some people, but even if like somehow my content creation career just exploded and like my accounts all got deleted or something, like what can't be taken away from me is that I'm a pretty good artist now. I can make decent music and I feel very confident as a streamer. So like those things can't be taken away from me no matter what. It doesn't matter if my numbers are down. I am a more talented and skilled person than I was when I started by a lot.
Yeah. I will segue into the next question through that. What skills did you develop through streaming?
Well, the biggest skill I would say is honestly just like being able to talk, which sounds perhaps obvious or
That's the
silly
skill
to
that I
mention.
got.
Yeah, it's a skill that like people don't think about because you do it every day. It's like just part of your life day to day. So you don't really think about it as a skill exactly, but being able to talk and talk well and keep up like an energy, keep up a conversation, bring up like interesting stories, bring up interesting topics, bring up interesting questions. Being able to do that kind of thing is probably the most important skill for a streamer to have in a lot of ways. And it's something that I did not have when I started. And that is the skill I have improved the most at by far, I think, since starting streaming. I'm not perfect at it or anything, but I feel very confident in saying that I'm a pretty good streamer now. I have the ability to hold a conversation. I speak a lot better. I used to have a problem where I would speak way too fast, and I still do speak too fast sometimes, but I've slowed myself down a considerable amount that I think is more okay. And I don't know, that's like the big thing, because you don't really have to be exactly funny necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like a specific personality or anything. As long as you can speak well, voice your thoughts well, and like keep up a conversation, the rest of that comes naturally. You'll be like funnier over time because you're gonna just like say more things.
For me, like how talking has improved, like 2 years ago, I was shy. I was really my introverted self. I am still an introvert, very introverted.
Mm-hmm.
But through streaming, and honestly, in my current job, that's an amazing skill to have. Just casual conversations, being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I never did retail before. I was just like storage, storage person, like forklift and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
I was used to that, and I got into retail somehow, and that has helped me a lot because I have two great examples, both funny as hell. This one, so I was at the cash register. An older lady with her mom, who is even older, came to my cash register, put some flowers on my cash register, and I just say like, "Are those for me?" And she's like, "Yeah, these are for you."
That's funny.
And her mom, who was in a wheelchair, was like, "What did they say?" And she's like, "They asked if the flowers were for them." Oh yeah.
That's funny.
And the other example is from an angry customer, but that was just hilarious in my opinion.
Sure, yeah.
When I'm working, I have like this focus that I don't really think, that I just focused on my work. And this customer came back with a plushie, but we have like tiny like stickers with prices on, but it didn't get changed that day, and it was cheaper than she paid for. She comes to my cash register angry, and it's like shows me the price tag, and it's like, "What's this?" I lean over the counter, like a fantasy like shopkeep, and I look like very focused at it. I look up to her, and me and work mode just says to her, "That's a price tag, ma'am."
Oh my god. That's really funny.
And she was so mad, but like afterwards,
Fair. I don't know.
after that moment, I realized what I did, and I started laughing.
Yeah, no, fair.
I told my manager this, and she was like, "Well, what does she want? Stupid questions get stupid answers."
True. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's super fair.
Talking has really helped me being like very outgoing and not look introverted shit, because I struggled finding a job by being introverted.
Sure, yeah, it's the kind of thing that can really be rough to deal with throughout your life, right? You struggle, like, it's the kind of thing that people will just sort of passively like you more and think you're like smarter and like want to be your friend more if you're well spoken.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to communicate someone if it's easier to communicate with someone, it's usually easier to befriend them.
Yeah.
So I think that streaming is really good for that. It's like made me much more of like a easy person to befriend, I think.
Yeah.
So
Also,
I definitely agree with you on that.
I've also worked on a big problem that I have. I still have that problem, but I've worked hard on it. Saying sorry for unnecessary things.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I still have that problem. I will still say sorry for dumb things, but it's a lot better than before.
Yeah, I mean, I do the same thing. I very much understand that. So it's hard not to, I think. It's very.
It's the worst with your partners, where you're like, you feel bad, but it's nothing bad, and you say sorry, constantly sorry, and they're like, it's fine.
Right. No, I get that. It's very, like, I don't know, it's easy for that to be a problem because even though you're just saying sorry a lot or whatever, it can become frustrating for the person hearing it all the time. It can become like kind of guilting in some ways sometimes, which is not great. It's very hard to balance because obviously you don't mean anything bad by it. You're just saying sorry. And like in my case, it's because of like some bad trauma stuff from my childhood or whatever that I have lingering around that I like say sorry a lot because of. And I've grown a lot out of it. I've started to be better about it, but I still do it a lot. And it's the kind of thing that you just have to work on. In theory, you probably should like see a therapist about it. I should probably see a therapist about it. But like you can sort of just be aware of it and learn to be a bit better about that. I think streaming kind of helped me with that too in some
Yeah.
ways, honestly. Just because it's made me more confident as a person, which has made me less likely to say that, I think, on average.
Yeah. I've also like learned not to like quit stream when I get angry and I feel bad that I raged it. I don't
That's
rage a
so
lot on
rare.
stream, but I used to like immediately end stream when I rage because I was like very embarrassed.
Sure. I mean, I think that's understandable. That's like not really unusual, I don't think.
Yeah. It's not much rage quitting, it's more like the embarrassment that you raged on stream.
Right. That makes sense, yeah.
Next question. Could you describe your community?
Yeah, so my community, I think on average, this might sound insulting, but I swear it's not.
Okay.
My community is a lot of misfits and people who are like kind of outcast a little bit. It's sort of changed to be a bit bigger recently, but there are a lot of people that don't really fit in other places exactly or aren't
Yeah.
exactly accepted in a lot of places. And I love that because I like to, be a very accepting person. I like to help people a lot. And I think that like all of them are very sweet. They're very sweet people. They mean the best. They are never like spiteful or trying to hurt anyone. They just want to like help others. They're very, very, very kind. But for whatever reason, it's different from person to person. Some people don't like them. They're, uncomfortable by them, or they say certain things that people don't like or whatever. And I kind of like it's sort of why I call myself Mama Minty sometimes. I sort of treat myself a little bit like their mom in some cases, where I try to help
Yeah.
them like learn how to be better about that sort of thing just by like
Yeah.
existing in a social space that actually accepts them and doesn't just
Yeah.
yell at them for that, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that honestly, all my life, I've always attracted people like that. All of my friends and friend groups have started because of like, oh, this is someone who gets bullied. Well, I'm not bullying them, so they're gonna come be my friend.
Yeah.
Like, or this is somebody who no one else likes. Well, I don't care about that, so I'll be their friend. Like,
Yeah.
all my life I've had friends that are like outcasts, misfits, and I'm kind of the same way because of that in some ways. But I don't mind it. I like being able to be, sort of it sounds silly, but sort of the leader of the outcasts.
Sounds like a raider group.
It kind of does, yeah. I mean, there's like that like punk rock group called like the Misfits or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's largely, okay. great,
Largely. You would.
I've learned how to speak so well, by the way.
Yeah. You're learning
I've
new
learned to
fox
say
words.
largely.
Fox word
But
of
yeah.
the day. Largely.
That's the majority of my community. I think that a lot of my VTuber friends don't exactly fit into that category necessarily. A lot of them do still, but a lot of them are just like other really sweet, very talented people that I am blessed to have in my life. I'm blessed to have all of them, of course, but like I think that a lot of my extended VTuber friends are not exactly that, but then the people that are closer to my like actual like community, the ones like in my Discord server, like streams, like people I hang out with, are usually a lot more of that kind of like we were misfits and now we're not, or like we are but it's okay kind of people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been like this, like not like I think you can say weirdo, like people saw me like being different because I handled things differently. And I never felt
I'm
really
definitely weird, so like that's totally understandable.
I never felt like really lonely alone because I had friends and stuff, but yeah, I was like the wacky kid, and and the internet has helped me glow up a lot, like be myself, learn to treat myself better. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I still am the same weirdo I was like 10 years ago, but yeah, I've learned to accept myself as I am and not
Hmm.
worry about it too much. And honestly, being normal is kind of boring.
True. That's so true.
Um, Next question. This is a double-edged sword question, so think really well
Hmm.
about this.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
if given a chance to be a full-time streamer, would you?
So I actually right now am a full-time streamer. I uh I did finally get that chance last year actually
Mm.
in the end of June, start of July basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a tough decision. I wasn't 100% sure about it, and it's not been perfect, but I do love it. And
Mm-hmm.
I love doing it, and it's something that I need to put more work into.
Yeah.
But I uh I definitely I definitely love it, and I think if you can stably, like safely without putting a risk to your like
Income.
stability as a person,
Yeah.
your income especially, then it's definitely worth it as long as you like it because
Yeah.
it is a job where you get to do what you love. And that can sometimes, in a lot of cases, burn people out. And it definitely did for a little while for me because I got caught up thinking about numbers a lot because it's very easy. Like, even I can say all I want about treat content, with your passion, do something you want
Uh-huh.
to, but when you're depending on it for money, it's very, very easy to get stressed out because, oh,
Yeah.
your numbers are down. Because that might suddenly mean you're not hitting rent. You're not getting like
Yeah.
a food for a day or something, which, like, that can be very hard. And I think that that's why, if you're going to become a full time streamer, you need to make sure you have a really good safety net. You have to have some sort of backup, multiple streams of income if possible. Like, you really need to make sure that you're not going to let yourself get in a situation where you are
In trouble.
dictating your job based on like your numbers or whatever exactly,
Yeah.
because that's just going to make your content worse, which is going to mean you're going to make less money, which is going to mean you're going to have to stop being a full-time streamer sooner than later.
Yeah. I always say you have to work to live, not live to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a very important mentality because
Hmm.
you don't have to overexhaust yourself over an already hard job, in my opinion.
Definitely. um but so yeah, to answer the original question, absolutely I would. I even did.
Um, here's a very interesting one. Can you
Mhm.
give me some tips for new streamers, like baby streamers?
Yes. So this is going to sound really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to clarify this. I want to like preface this by saying
Yeah.
that content creation is an evolving medium. So what worked for me when I started out might not necessarily work for someone else.
Mm.
So I will give my advice, but there is a chance that it is outdated. There's a chance that there are better ways. There's a chance that it might not be the most up to date advice, just because anytime you hear advice from a successful person, you need to make sure you understand how they got to be successful because it might have been 2 years ago and the content creation atmosphere might have completely changed.
Yeah.
So take advice with a grain of salt is the best thing I would say. Is keep in mind that the people giving advice probably have good intentions, but they might not necessarily be right because they are treating it based on their experiences and not the current atmosphere. That's like the big thing I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, my advice with that as like a preface to it is focus less on streaming a lot in long hours and focus more on spreading your content across multiple social media platforms and networking with a lot of people,
Yeah.
because there's tons of people streaming on Twitch. There are more people streaming on Twitch. Like, there are almost more people streaming on Twitch than people watching Twitch. There's a lot of competition. It's very, very difficult to get into.
Yeah.
And it's kind of taken for granted a lot about how hard that is. So if you just turn your stream on, people aren't necessarily going to know that you're streaming. Even if you're like the most entertaining streamer in the world, it's going to be hard for you because no one's going to see your page. You're not going to get put on recommended. You're not going to be on the top of Twitch at all. You're not going to have large viewer numbers. Like, you should focus less on streaming as much as possible and like that kind of thing, and more on going on Twitter, making some friends, going on like YouTube and posting your VODs there, posting clips on TikTok, like
Yeah.
making other type of content, going to other people's streams and being their friends. Like you should focus on building a community, and that will really solidify your like base as a streamer, because if you just stream, you're not going to see new people. Like you're not going to get new people because no one will know you're streaming. You have to network and get yourself out there, and the best way to do that is to go in with good intentions, and don't just go to people and be like, "Hey, can you check out my stream?" Don't go to servers and be like, "Hey, can I self promo here?" Don't do that, because you should not be trying to like
Force
get everyone to care about you at all times. It will make people not like you. You need to like, if you want people to support you, you have to support them too. Go and watch people's streams. Go and join their communities. Go talk to people. Go reply to them. You think about like, if you're on Twitter and you see that bell pop up and somebody replied to you, that probably makes you happy, right? When you're starting out, it's exciting. Think about how exciting that is for other people. So like, you need to go and do the same thing. Go and reply to them. Go talk to people. Go make other people happy. And with time, some of that will come back to you. You shouldn't be going in like selfishly expecting everything to just come to you. You need to be able to be willing to give people something, talk to people, you know, be friends with people if you want that good energy and vibes to come back to you.
Take your time.
Literally, just like don't rush it, and make sure you're, you know, not hard focusing on streaming long hours or streaming the most hot new games or doing the new trends or whatever. Like that is cool, but if no one sees it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's important to work on yourself and get to be a better content creator, because your, you know, odds of success go up the better you are at things, of course. But it's always going to be a luck-based thing, and you're always just kind of playing the odds whenever you start a stream. And the best way to help yourself in that is to build a legitimate community of friends who are excited to get to talk to you and see you.
Yeah. Wait, I was gonna say something. I think this is the newly developed Fox Plane Rentals work.
Sorry, you've got foxitis now, so you have the shared brain cell, which means if someone else is using it, you don't have the brain cell.
It's like the three witches from Hercules with the eye.
Literally, it's exactly like that. It's so good. I'm gonna start using that as an example. That's so good.
now like a meme with the three witches and the fox brain.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'll have to make that.
And people be like, why is Esther there?
Not dead, just doesn't have the brain cell right now.
Well, you got me to admit I'm a fox on Steam, so congratulations.
Woo! We did it! The VTuber pipeline! The prophecy is true!
Honestly, I would incorporate that in my lore as being like a shapeshifter phone.
That's pretty good. I love that for you.
I've infiltrated the fox VTubers. They don't know it, but they actually do.
It's like that picture of the cow with like the illusion of choice. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
But it's like that meme, except the options are like become a VTuber and like become any type of creature, and they all both funnel into become a fox.
Sophie will enjoy this. She will literally like tease me with this for the coming 5 months.
That's good. I support that. Love that for Sophie.
Some for fun questions. You get 1 million of your currency. What do you do with it?
Ooh.
It's the $1 million question.
Well, the first and most important thing I would do is get like all the trans surgeries I could ever want or need, and make sure to also get them for all of my like partners and like friends. Like get them for like everyone who needs them, right? And that would be a chunk of that money already. But after that, I would it's not a fun answer, but I would probably just like invest it in like stocks and stuff to try to make
You're
sure
not the
that
first one. You're literally
Right,
not the first
exactly.
one.
make sure that I'm able to, you know, keep some of it and stay safe and have like a safety net and stuff like that. But as for like fun answers, other than surgeries and stuff, I would just like, I don't know, I would want to go around and do like a bunch of like gifts to friends and things like that as much as I could, and like get lots of art, and like something I'd really want to do is just like pay my model artist a lot for a bunch of different things because I love her art so much. I would be like, hey, can I hire you?
Hey mom, hey mom, hey mom, what? Here, have 10 grand.
Yeah, basically.
Goes into random VTuber friend streams, say the funny. What funny? Say the funny.
Something that I've talked about a couple times is if I ever was randomly rich like that, one thing that I would love to do is I'd love to open up a business that is basically like, the concept would be a convention cafe, sort of, or like
Oh
a
my
convention bar.
god. Huh,
So like,
we're literally the same. Oh my
Yeah.
fucking god. I want to open like a comfy book cafe.
yeah, I think it'd be cool because, you know, like when you go to a convention, there's like arcade machines and games and cosplay and like merch stands, and like sometimes there's cool snacks like Asian food and stuff like that. And there's like panels and stuff. I think it'd be cool to do a small localized version of that in like a bar or like a cafe or like a restaurant, something like that,
Yeah.
where you go and you can like
You can't
rent
enter
out
without a
room,
costume.
play like D&D, or you can rent out a room to host like a panel for something. You can go and cosplay. There'll be encouraged like people going and cosplay all the time. There'll be like anime that can play on the TVs and stuff. You can get like different, you know, Japanese candies. There'll be like a bunch of random like merch for like D&D and like anime and stuff, and like video games. There could be like local tournaments held for fighting games, or like even random stuff like Tetris, and like I think that would be really, really cool as like a little miniature convention hub, basically. That conventions are kind of expensive and only happen in specific places like once a year.
Yeah.
But having a restaurant or like a business like that that's open,
All
you
year.
know, 3 to 5 days a week or something like that would be amazing, because there's so many people who would, like myself included, would just want to spend a lot of time there.
I just this has been like a dream for me forever, like having like a
Yeah.
cafe, like a geek gaming cafe, or like just the comfy cafe. Now I'm more leaning
Yes.
towards the comfy book cafe time. But
I think that is such a fun idea.
I've always like wanted a geek cafe. But the problem is like my city is not very geeky.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
And
I really like that idea. It's funny that we have such similar like ideas for it. But
literally the same person from different
yeah,
universes.
basically.
Are you my ultimate self?
I'm you, but stronger.
I'm you from the future.
The future. That's funny.
I love those future trans memes. There is like 3 friends and like, hey, sup? And then like, why am I a cat?
Yes, I love that.
What's one of your favorite songs?
Favorite songs? Well, I think that my musical tastes definitely change from time to time. And
If you say
it's
Rick
hard for me to
Ashley,
say.
I'm making you my wife right now.
You're so valid. You're so valid. I definitely have lots of musical tastes that change from time to time. If I was gonna pick like a favorite song, I think I would have to pick like a longtime favorite musical artist, which would
Mm-hmm.
be Owl City.
Oh my god.
And from there, a favorite song I would pick might be like maybe Hello Seattle. Everyone knows Fireflies,
I
but
thought you were gonna say Fireflies.
yeah, everybody knows Fireflies, but I like some of the other songs on the album a bit more.
They're so comfy.
Yeah, the sounds and the vibes of Owl City are so good. And I, actually, there's a bunch of other groups I like that are similar vibes, like Death Cab for Cutie, the Postal Service, Lights. Adam Young, who runs Owl City, also has like Sky Sailing and other like musical projects and stuff like that. So in terms of like music like that, comfy music that is still kind of like fun and energetic and stuff, one of my favorite songs by far is by the Postal Service, and it's called Nothing Better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a fun song. It's very like emotional, but it's very upbeat. Makes me want to sing along, makes me want to dance, that kind of thing. But it's also very comfy. I can fall asleep to it. So it's like that perfect middle ground for me.
I'm gonna send you my YouTube playlist with all the music I like. Just scroll through it and then you know what of a random music taste I have.
Yeah.
Just scroll through it.
I definitely have a bunch of random things too, so I feel you. This is really good stuff. I love these things. These are all really good songs.
Yeah. It's random. Like there's like Big Iron in there, then Danger Zone, then Ghostbusters, then Gorillas.
A little bit all over the place.
Yeah,
but
that's my
very
music
fun.
taste.
Oh, I also love like Gorillas and
Gorillas is the group that I stay with the most.
yeah.
It's really good.
They're good. They're good. I recently, not like recently, but I guess it's been a year now. I don't know, man, time flies. But it feels recent because it's kind of the most recent musical artist that I randomly got very into. You probably know Maury Calliope.
Yeah.
She's like the rapper,
Yeah.
English Hololive VTuber member, and her music is like banger. It's
Yeah,
so good.
it's really good. I
Like-
love how it contrasts her actual personality.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
she's-
really good. It's really good.
She's the millennial VTuber.
I see some Ninja Sex Party music on here.
Yes,
Love them. They're
yes.
great. They're so good.
It is so random and so good. Like, Parents' House is probably one of my favorites because it's literally the vibe I would give off.
Yeah.
Like, I would bring a girl home. I'd have the living room to myself. Suddenly, Dad comes in. Like, Dad, I have the room for myself. Let me be.
Fair, yeah. The current song I'm obsessed with, you might laugh if you know it, but it's Dr. Worm by They Might Be Giants.
Let me search that up.
Which, if you don't know what that is, and for our audience, Dr. Worm is a very, very silly, simple song where the lyrics are literally, they call me Dr. Worm. Good morning, how are you? I'm Dr. Worm. I'm interested in things. And like, it's just very lighthearted and fun and silly.
I love lighthearted and silly. That is literally my jam.
It's like an upbeat song. It's almost kind of like ska, sort of. And there is actually a really good ska cover of it. But I want to do a cover of Dr. Worm because it's so funny.
God. I tend to sing along with silly music a lot. Like, for example, She Blinded Me with Science. I would.
Oh my god, yes.
I will sing along with that, or like Love Will Tear Us Apart and stuff. It's just all so like, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's valid. I actually love singing. I'm not very confident in it all the time. I used to be super insecure about it. I'm more confident with it now, more willing to like sing on average. But I would sing in the car all the time. Every single time I'm in the car, I'll play music and sing along to it.
Yes.
Like, I adore singing along to stuff, and it's just singing is one of those things that I've been very self-conscious about, and I never have had real proper training for like classical singing or anything like that at all. but I really love it and I would love to be a singer. So that's kind of along the lines of making music too, that I want to focus on that and kind of start doing that in the future. It's something that I'm passionate about, but I'm not good at yet.
Here's a funny thing. I have this one colleague. When I work with him, sometimes we will randomly start singing. You are my fire. And we
Oh my
just
God.
finish it each other. And then he will tell me why, and I will like do the rest of the song.
Yeah. You literally said that first part, and my gut instinct was to go, my one desire. I literally had to like stop myself from immediately doing that.
And I know it's too late. You can continue if you want.
Yeah, it's good. It's just funny because like
It's just
Same,
automatically in
basically.
your brain to finish Backstreet Boys.
right.
It's like, it's so good. Like back in the day, it was cringy. Like, and now it's like cult classic. If you don't sing along, what the fuck are you doing?
Definitely, definitely. It's one of those things that is funny because like whenever I moved in with my current like roommates and like partners and stuff, they, especially like Taylor and Priscilla, were very not used to people singing. But I went to a performing arts high school and I like love singing and I love music. So whenever we would drive somewhere, I would just start singing. And for a while, for like a long time, they were like, wait, you can do that? You can just like sing? It's like weird.
I'm a
But it's so fun. It's so fun. And I don't know. I love singing. I think that more people should sing.
I'm a shower singer / dancer. And when Sophie was here, we weren't comfortable yet because we just got together when she was here. But I took my bath. I had my music on, and I was tired and stuff, but this music was still going. And I set up the Backstreet Boys and I started singing. She was sitting on the couch and she got all flustered.
Aw. That's cute.
She says that I'm. Wait, what's it called again? A hopeless romantic. And she loves it about me.
That's cute.
I have like the classic, like very like what's it called? Cliche tropes of love. That's how I
Yeah.
love. And she
That's
loves
fair. That's super fair. I think that they're really fun too. They're obviously kind of overdone, but that's fine. They're fun, and that's what matters.
I love that actually. I love being like over the top about it and stuff.
Absolutely.
But we're deviating a bit.
True. That's okay.
Favorite fictional protagonist? Good guy, whatever anti-hero you like.
Favorite fictional protagonist? Did you say anime protagonist specifically?
Any protagonist.
Any protagonist. Okay. So I like a lot of them. I think there's been a lot of anime recently in particular that have had really, really good female protagonists in them. I think my favorite example of that is My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, which is a long title. It's a, meme light novel title. But the show is about a girl who's like a nerd tomboy and doesn't have many friends, and she loves like otome games, which are like dating games basically, visual novel type things. And she gets isekai'd by a truck-kun, the classic, and wakes up as the villainess of her dating game that she loved to play in like the world that her dating game took place in.
That's fun.
And I love that show I love her specifically. She is incredible. Her name is Katarina. People often call her Bakarina because she's like an idiot.
I want to
But
see that show now.
it's so good. It is probably my favorite anime of all time in a lot of ways. It's actually the one. So I never used to read like novels or manga or like webtoons or anything. I was only an anime kind of person. I never had the attention span for anything like that. But after finishing My Next Life as a Villainess, I needed more of it. So I went and started reading the manga and then the light novels. And then after I caught up on that, I wanted to be able to read more. So I started learning Japanese so I could catch up even further. I never managed to succeed at that. I'm still learning Japanese. I'm still very
Okay.
beginner on Japanese. But that's how much I liked it. I liked it that much. It was so good. And like, I won't, spoil it if you want to see it or whatever, but
I want to
the
see
really
it.
nice thing about her is just that like she has this personality where she is very, very intuitively like understanding of people. So she's like a kind of an idiot and kind of like a crass, like tomboyish kind of person that has strange, weird personality quirks, but she really, really like kind of understands people in ways that other people don't and makes people really happy and like helps solve their problems without even really knowing it or understanding it. So
Yeah.
everyone ends up falling in love with her. And that's not even like really a spoiler. Like there's so much to that show. It's so amazing.
Oh my god.
But that's what I love about her because I literally want to be like that in my day-to-day life. I want to be the person that like helps everyone around me and charmingly like makes everyone happy and intuitively understands them and like listens to them when no one else will and makes people better people because of it. And like I of course also love being praised and being loved. So if people, like
Yeah.
me more because of it, then that's great.
Yeah.
It's sort of the basis of why I have a little bit of a Himedari complex is like honestly in a lot of ways just because of her.
I get that. That's completely good.
Yeah, she actually was relevant to when I started VTubing too, because whenever I set out to become a VTuber, I started writing a light novel that like featured my lore and my character, and I sort of based my character's personality on her in a lot of ways. And then when I started streaming and tweeting and stuff, I kind of wanted to be more like her. So I started emulating some of her traits, her speech patterns, stuff like that. And I've kind of become more like her over time, which I'm very happy about because I adore her. And I like myself more as a person now that I have some of those traits.
You've become the villain of the story in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. Not the like main character, but the character that ends up being the most important because
The handsome Jack of.
right. It's actually so funny. Like I don't want to spoil it at all, so I should not. I should stop talking about it. But it's really good because like you just kind of caught onto that there is still a main character, and it's not her, but she is the main character of the show that we watch. It's just that like she got teleported to a game where there was a different main character, and that character still exists.
I remember this one anime of like this demon girl, and she's like she has to like kill a magical girl. But she's very awkward at it, and at the end she gets trained by the magical girl to eventually like fight her. And she's
Is that the like demon next door?
I don't know. I don't remember the title, but I remember she's cute and very awkward and like has very aesthetic reactions.
There's a couple shows like that I really like. There's like something about the Great Jahi-san, which is similar. There's the Demon Next Door, which is really, really good. Or like Magical Girl Next Door, maybe it's called. I can't remember. And then there's also like Dropout Gabriel, or Gabriel Dropout or whatever. And they all have similar concepts along those lines, and I love all of them. They're amazing.
It's Demon Next Door.
It might be Magical Girl Next Door. Let me double check
No,
that, 'cause I don't remember.
I just checked. I passed the brain cell. I got the brain cell.
Demon Girl Next Door. Gosh, is this the one? Maybe? I can't even
Yeah,
remember now.
it's that one that I meant. The Demon Next Door.
Okay. Well, there you go.
An anime that I really thought was very enjoyable. This was a huge egg moment for me. This is the egg anime that I had. Himigoto. It's an anime about a boy who got punished by the girls' school council to go an entire year to that school
Oh
disguised
gosh.
as a girl. And you can already see why it's the egg anime for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
And
very
and
good. That's
and the
very
big
good.
because it's an egg anime because the guy gets very like is not comfortable at first, but then he opens up to it and he goes for bras and stuff to like some like it's so good.
That's so good. I love that.
Yeah, the biggest egg moment for me was that.
Understandable.
What's your favorite fictional antagonist, bad guy, evil doer? But remember,
Favorite
because they're a bad
fictional.
guy, they're not a bad guy.
Understandable. I don't know. Maybe like, hmm. I really like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is pretty good. I
I don't know if I should take that answer as a bad guy though, because
That's
he's more
fair.
of
Yeah,
a protagonist anti-hero now.
yeah, that's fair. She's not exactly like a traditional bad guy, really. So doesn't necessarily count. It's a stupid, silly answer, but does Shadow the Hedgehog count?
Yes, he does count because he's an anti-hero and he doesn't really care.
Yeah, I love that. It's really good. I think, hmm,
So
I'm
this
trying to
is a
think of
fabled
media that
tilted
has
towers.
like anti-heroes or characters in it that are like bad guys that I like. There's definitely a lot of examples of it. I just can't think of them off top.
That one random
I don't
villain from
really.
the cartoon that you liked.
Oh, sorry, what?
That one random villain from the cartoon you liked.
Mm-hmm. I think like, hmm. Now I'm like struggling thinking about it.
I have the
I
brain
don't
cells she can
know.
take.
I'm trying to think, but I can't think of that many like different animes and like shows that have like anti-heroes exactly. There's like a lot of non-traditional main characters and heroes, but as for like a villain specifically, other than Shadow, I can't think of one off top that I'm immediately like that's the best.
I've recently like discussed this with a friend. What do you
Hmm.
consider Black Adam? Because he's a villain, of course.
Adam from Ruby?
No, Black Adam, the
Black
DC
Adam.
Shazam villain.
Oh, I'm not actually familiar with that. I'm
So,
not super familiar with a ton of
so
like
basically you have to, you know Shazam obviously, right?
yes.
Okay. He's basically evil Shazam, to say it
Oh,
shortly. Uh,
interesting.
but I've had this discussion with a friend where he's technically, he's obviously a villain, but he's not a hero.
Hmm.
So we gave him the anti-villain moniker. Because
Interesting.
most of the time he does things for the sake of his country, his own country.
Sure.
Because it's kind of a Wakanda type of like country, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know, I think if I was gonna pick a favorite, like anti-hero kind of character,
Hmm.
have you seen Code Geass?
I know Code Geass.
I think
Haven't
this,
watched
if
it.
Lelouch counts, I really,
Yes,
really think he's
Lelouch
a cool like
counts.
anti-hero.
Lelouch counts.
Yeah, I really love Code Geass, and I think he's a very, very good, like, bad character, like, where he is definitely doing bad and questionable and not great things, but there's like good reasons for them, and I think it's very interesting the like moral dilemmas and the like different stuff that goes on with that. Like I love those types of strategy shows where it's like they've outthought you 7 steps ahead kind of thing or whatever. And Code Geass does that and also at the same time has really cool like anti-hero moral dilemma stuff going on, which is
Hmm.
just it's so good. It's so good.
It is definitely good.
A lot of the heroes or a lot of the villains I like are usually actually just like misunderstood or in positions where they're doing something that isn't necessarily evil or they're trying to do something good but they're just perceived as bad because of like the situations they're in. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Naruto much.
I refuse to watch Naruto. I know about Naruto, but I just
That's
refuse.
totally fair. That's totally fair. I guess I can give a different example of like, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Hun, I am very behind on watching anime.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
I
I'm just trying to give
did.
examples.
I haven't
Wow.
watched Full Metal Alchemist, but I did cry for the MACU part because I searched that up on YouTube. I'm like, what? I heard about that part, and I just was so
Yeah.
curious. I had to see, and I didn't even know about the anime. I saw the
Mhm.
I saw the fight and I saw the funeral, and I just started crying.
Fair, yeah. One of my favorite characters, though, in like anime as a whole, is a villain from Full Metal Alchemist who ends up becoming like a hero that joins like the main cast or whatever. And I really love those types of characters where they aren't heroes exactly, but they are good people and they become heroes through the course of the story. Like Zuko from Avatar also
Yeah.
fills that kind of role.
Zuko is amazing. I love Zuko. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
That's a good example of it
The-
that a lot of people would probably know.
the best villain
I love
to.
that type of villain in storytelling where it's like you have a character who is put in a position that makes them a villain, but they are genuinely a good person or become a good person over time. I think that's very, very good storytelling, and I love to see it.
I'm a sucker for like good storytelling.
Same. That actually, not to get too sidetracked or whatever, but that reminds me of you were asking about like skills I've developed from streaming.
Yeah.
I think that storytelling is a very important skill that a lot of people don't think about as a skill exactly, but it's one of those things that's really, really helpful for streaming. And I've definitely gotten better at it over like my time streaming. Storytelling is just like really fun and it is very engaging to do and to listen to. So it's something that I think people who want to like work on themselves as streamers or entertainers or whatever can focus in on because it's just
Yeah.
really it's just fun learning how to be a better storyteller.
I've caught Sophie caught myself on this too because I sent these to her. I sometimes randomly start. I've never done this before. I've only started doing this recently. Randomly starting to make poems.
Aw, that's cool.
And usually Sophie's on the receiving end of those.
Sure, that sounds cute.
I guess it is. God damn it, I lost my focus.
You're valid.
I'm weak for compliments.
Aw. Well, that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
What's your favorite anime? Or one of your favorite animes?
Favorite anime. So, other than like Villainess, I think one of my favorites is probably No Game No Life, which is just such a fun show. It kind of has that same vibe as like Code Geass with like the whole big brain protagonist that does like a bunch of 7 steps ahead of you kind of things or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also just love the art style in that show. It is gorgeous. The coloring in that show just like is amazing. It's so nice.
And it's not too busy as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's very elegant. It's very pretty, and it's not like the world's most complex art style, but it's just very stylized. It has so much like interesting color choices in it that are really pretty, and I just love them. I love looking at the show. And one of my favorite characters ever, Jibril, is from that show, and I adore her with all my heart. She's like my theoretical dream cosplay someday. I would love to cosplay her.
I've watched a bit of it, but that was long ago, so I already forgot like most of the show. I just know that the two protagonists are like very funny, but like
They're
they're maid
so funny.
servants.
They have such a funny dynamic. It's really good. I really like that show. It's great. Another like favorite that I would list up there along with that is ReZero, but for totally different reasons. Because ReZero is a very serious, heavy, like story with lots of like big character like issues, and like it deals with a lot of like mental health stuff and like struggles that characters would go through that aren't really covered in other anime of the similar type. And it's just very engaging and interesting. It has a very good world, very good characters, and I just really enjoy it. It's very like, I would even maybe call it like a psychological thriller in some ways.
Yeah.
It's like really, really, really good.
The $1,000,000 question about that, though. You already know this one is coming. The moment you said ReZero. Ram Ram or Amelia?
So I would like to say all three, but probably Amelia for me personally. I really love her. Partially I'm biased because she uses like ice magic and like I'm all ice themed and stuff, and I love that. I think it's really cool. But I also just love her personality. She is so good. She is such a great character. And I also really love Rem, and I really love Ram, and I really love all the characters in that.
Yeah.
But my real favorite girl from that is Wrath. If you've met her.
I haven't watched the show, so that's why I have no opinion on the $1,000,000 anime question.
Okay. Then no spoilers, but that's my favorite.
Okay. Such is the plan.
Yeah, I would say Amelia on average though, out of like those.
Wait.
Not biased, by the way.
Not biased. Next question. Favorite cartoon?
Favorite cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bee and Puppy Cat. Maybe Steven Universe.
Ooh.
I'm not totally sure. Maybe like Star versus the Forces of Evil even. There's like a lot of cartoons I really enjoy. I haven't finished most of them, but I want to at some point. I've really, really enjoyed them. They're very, very fun. I just like those types of cartoons though, because the common thread between them is that they are silly and lighthearted, but they have a pretty art style. They have interesting characters, and the shows are more serious than they would let on at first. They go into a lot more like character development and a lot more like overarching life lessons and issues that you wouldn't get out of your typical like slapstick cartoon or like super silly cartoon, right? Like something more ridiculous like Chowder is just kind of a, you watch it, or like Flapjack or like Ed, Ed and Eddie or something. You watch those and you're like, okay, that made me laugh like a couple times, but I didn't gain anything from it.
Oh my god. You mentioning Chowder, there's this one moment in Chowder that is just burned into my brain. Nothing else from the show aside from Rada Rada, you know. It's like, but there's this one moment where like the big-nosed, big-eared character is like searching for Chowder. Well, they're searching for Chowder, and it's like, but Chowder's right here. And the thing just turns around in a deep voice. Hello, father. That just stays with me.
Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, I'll give those shows credit. They are very funny. Like, they can be very funny and very entertaining to watch. It's just that my personal taste towards cartoons is I prefer the ones that end up having more like actual like overarching storylines.
Yeah.
They're closer to anime, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the show The Dragon Prince, but it kind of falls in between cartoon and anime in a lot of ways.
I've heard of this one before. I
It's
don't
like
think
a-
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like a Western made show, and it has like an interesting sort of 3D-ish art style. I would definitely consider it closer to an anime in terms of its like story and like characters and stuff. But then that gets into the whole debate of like, is it anime if it's not Japanese? And I think yes, but like, you know,
Yeah.
I really like that one too. It's really good.
Two of my favorite cartoons, and this is a very fucking basic answer. Samurai Jack and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh yeah.
Two of my absolute favorites. They played a huge
They're
role
really
in my
good.
childhood.
Are you still traumatized by the Return the Slab guy from Courage?
Yes, how? That's the only thing about Courage, and it's literally the creepiest show ever
I
for a child.
know.
And it's just the Return the Slap guy is just haunting.
Yeah,
It was,
I don't know why
to be
that in
fair,
particular is the one thing that bothered me the most, but that lives in my brain rent free for probably the rest of my life.
to be fair, that's one of the episodes I'm the most intrigued by, even though that guy gave me traumatic experiences.
Yeah, fair, fair.
I think that episode, the one with Baby Muria, where she's like more macaroni, more cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and then the episode with like I can't remember, with like all the villains, like all the recurring villains, like in Courage's basement.
Right. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it, but those are like 3 episodes that I really liked. I know.
That's fair, yeah. It was a good show.
Oh, and that one, like, I don't know, this episode was just brutal for Courage. The one with like the Chinese guy that had like a better Courage, and Courage had to fight him, like the robot version.
Oh, I don't know that I ever saw that.
So basically, how the episode goes, like, the Chinese guy wants to prove that robot dog is better than real dog, and that robot dog is literally just beating the shit out of Courage.
Oh gosh.
It's literally like brutal. But yeah, what's your favorite show? Netflix, streaming service, whatever. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, like favorite like TV show kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a different answers, I think. I think I have more than one favorite for different reasons.
You can
I
say
think
them all.
if I was gonna pick a favorite for like just turning on something that is chill and casual and I can maybe do something else during, that would be the Great British Bake Off, or the Great British Baking Show, or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like really calming and like chill, and I love to see like the stuff people make, and the people on the show are always just very nice to each other, and it's really really nice. It's a very like heartwarming kind of show. So if I ever need something that's like calming, chill, will let me like focus on something else, maybe that's the show I watch.
Shows that I really like, because right now I've never thought of them in any other monsters, but shows that I really like, it's like the Kitchen Nightmares,
Yeah, fair.
and the Bear Grylls shows, all of them.
Okay.
You know, piss
That's
drinking
fair.
man.
Right, of course. The OG VTuber.
The OG VTuber, but he's a survivalist.
I mean, his name is literally Bear. Like,
He lives on an island, by the way. He has to take a chopper or a boat to get to the store. Just
it genuinely sounds like a VTuber backstory,
VTuber backstory.
which is very fun. I think that is very funny.
Bear Grylls is really fun. He even has a Temple Run game on the App Store, which is hilarious.
In terms of other shows, though, I think like it's a silly one, but I really enjoy Wipeout.
See, people
I
fail at
really-
things.
It's so funny, and like I've always enjoyed that kind of show just because I like to imagine how I would do on it. It's the kind of show that I think I'd be okay at, but even if I wasn't, I would love to get the chance to try it, just because if I like wiped out, it would be so funny. I like game shows and stuff like that
Game
too.
shows. I really want to make I've always had this concept and the title of it, and it's called Rivals at Momstos. But I still don't know how to work out a concept for it. I know I want it to be a game show, a one-on-one game show.
Sure, yeah.
But the problem is, what do you give as motivation for the guests? That's one of the mainly occurring problems I have with it.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. It sounds hard.
It really does sound hard. I think I might give up on the idea and just do like another show which is similar to Momsters, but just more like gaming focused over the interview. I'd
Yeah.
call it Return to Momstos, where I like invite all the casts to do like collabs with.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But moving on. Um, favorite movie?
Favorite
Or one of your
movie.
favorite
So,
movies?
yeah, for a long time, I would have said Inside Out. Not sure if you know what that is or have been or
What?
familiar with it, but it's like a Pixar film
Wait,
that's all
repeat it?
about Inside Out.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the way that it gets into like your emotions and stuff, and it talks about like basically depression, and I think
Hmm.
it's really really good. I love that it covers that. It's
The,
definitely a big time favorite of mine because of that reason. I think there are a lot of movies that I really, really do like, and probably are way better movies than that. But that's just one that really sticks with me that I really like because it's just very good. It covers that in a very simple, straightforward way, and I like it.
my one of my absolute favorites is Corpse Bride
Oh
because
yeah,
it's such an endearing story about love.
yeah, it's really, really good. Um,
I'm a sucker for love, if you couldn't tell already.
that's valid. That's fair. I just was reminded, like I had forgotten. I was like, there's some other movie I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it. I just remembered what it was. Promare. I don't know if you've ever watched it or heard of it.
Searching it up
It
right now.
is absolutely amazing. It is spelled like this, Promare, like
It's
that.
an anime, right?
It is one of the most gorgeous animated movies I've ever seen. It has a beautiful style.
These
It's got
visuals are
really
amazing.
unique, yeah, it's got really unique coloring. It has great characters. The like pacing is really fast and fun and like keeps you engaged the whole time. It's also like it's just a really good movie. I don't know if you've ever seen any like trigger anime shows, but they kind of have like a lot of similarities between them where they're like over the top and silly and like the animations are ridiculous and the plot lines are really really like ridiculous and overscaled and stuff. And Promare is just like a hyper condensed version of all of that into one movie. It's like watching a whole anime, but like in a movie, and it's really, really good.
I love movies that do that.
Yeah.
I know
I
I know we're already past the anime question, but something I've been like stuck at right now. I've been watching this with some friends, and I love it. I love the storytelling. I love the characters. It's so good. It's made me cry on multiple occasions. Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, Violet Evergarden is so good.
I love the style of the anime and like the story of it.
It's so good.
Also, I love that type of storytelling where it's like episodic but overarching in the larger story.
Yeah, it's really good. I definitely agree with that.
And it's so good as well. Like, oh my god, these characters.
Yeah, I love the characters in that. It's so good. You're definitely right. I agree.
Um, we're nearing the end of the interview, but
Hmm.
it can go on longer. That really depends.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you.
Uh, oh no, I was saying the interview because the last question is a really funny one.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
What countries do you want to visit, and why is it one of them Japan?
Well, Japan is definitely up there. Of
Always
course,
gets
there's
them.
so much cool stuff in Japan that I would love to get to see and go experience, and like, it would be really cool. It would just be very cool for lots of reasons.
Mhm.
But other countries I'd like to visit, in particular, I'd like to visit the like Netherlands, like Finland, Sweden, Norway, those types of places. Uh, they seem beautiful, and I always love like colder weather anyway. So like, it would be really good for that at least. And I just want to go and take pictures there. I want to go
You
take
should-
pictures of like everything because
You
it just the pictures I've seen of it are beautiful, and I would love to go there for that reason.
You saying the Netherlands triggers my like Belgian response of like you should see Belgium, you should see Ghent, Bruges.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to like travel a lot of different places in Europe. in theory, because there's so much beautiful stuff there and so many cool things. I An underrated place that I'd like to go to that, you know, it has a funny reputation online in particular recently, but I'd love to go visit England, like Britain at some point,
Mm-hmm.
if only because I have a lot of friends there now that are VTubers and stuff,
Yeah.
and I think it'd be really, really fun to meet up with them.
VTuber meetup. Oh my god.
Hmm.
I I I want to show like everyone that comes to Belgium as much as possible. Like,
Totally
oh my
valid.
god.
It seems like a great place.
I took Sophie to Ghent and she's like, oh my god, this city is beautiful. I'm like, hun, you haven't seen
Mhm.
Bruges yet. And I also wanted
Well,
Diersden is my favorite place. It's just the complete opposite of Flanders.
oh, really?
It's literally forests and hills and trees and just, oh my god, the
That sounds
woods.
beautiful.
It's the woods, just amazing.
Yeah, I would love that. That sounds amazing.
It is. Trust me.
I also would love to visit like I don't know. Japan of course is super cool, but I'd love to just visit a bunch of different Asian like
Mhm.
places like
I get that.
China and like South Korea and like Taiwan. I think are really cool places that we need to visit someday.
Here's a weird thing. This is a weird thing about Belgian middle-aged people, mostly men. Thailand. It is so wacky to me because Thailand is like this very popular place for middle-aged men to go to.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually they take home a wife from there.
Right.
It's
Weird.
it's a really weird thing. It's not really Belgian culture. It's just like something that happens here, and like older people from this country go to Spain when they retire. Like not all of them, but most of them.
Right.
It's
That's
like that.
interesting.
It's like that weird quirk that every country has.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder why.
I wonder why too. I don't know myself. I'd have to grow older to know. What dishes would you like to try from other countries?
Dishes from other countries. I guess I don't know what I don't know, right? There's like a ton of stuff that I think would be cool to get the chance to try, but I don't know what a lot of it is. I would be interested in learning about a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dishes that I know of that I'd be interested are mostly like Japanese dishes in particular, like omurice and like various different things that I've tried some of the like Americanized versions of, but
Mhm.
it'd be nice to try like proper versions of them in Japan, right? Like it'd be cool to have
Same.
like there's have those restaurants where you go and there's like the little rotating bar of like stuff
Yeah.
you get. Like
Yeah.
that sounds really cool to go to just as like an experience. I guess part of the thing that I would like about Japan is the experience of the places more than the specific foods. Like the experience as a whole of going to the place, right?
I've had one of my guests is a Canadian that lives in Japan, and when they went abroad in Japan, they went to one of those retro stores. They went home with 3 bags.
That's funny.
Honestly, that's a giant mood though. I want to go to those retro stores too. I've recently found out I have one in my country, and I went for headphones when I went for my HRT checkup, because mine broke, and I went into that store, and I just saw all this retro stuff, and I'm like, don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it.
That's
But yeah.
so valid though.
It was really tempting to buy like all the consoles.
That's fair, yeah.
But here's the famed last question. The question is, do you have any questions for me?
Gosh, I didn't think about that in advance. I should have.
That's why I said you can do your homework.
That's true. That's true. You know, maybe I should have. But I guess what inspired you to be specifically a furret? And like, do you ever like I don't know. I just think that's interesting because when I started out, as like a face cam streamer, my mascot was a Gajinka Alolan Vulpix girl.
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of an evolution of that. So in some ways, I share that sort of like Pokemon base for my design. I was just wondering, like, what made Furret something you specifically latched onto?
And this is the funny story. This is kind of my origin. So at first, I started as mute. I was a mute streamer. I was like I said, I was 2 years ago. I was super introverted, so I wasn't comfortable with my voice. I eventually opened up and had my voice. So my first year was mostly voice, and then Sophie introduced me to Picru, and she gave me this one thing. Like I also met Sophie 2 years ago. She helped me out a lot in my life, and yeah, I had this Picru. If I find a picture, I don't have the Picru anymore. I don't have the picture anymore, but I do have the model. I have a VTuber model. I call it Baby Sto.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah, because it's my older version. But that Picru inspired this. And on my debut, well, I was not really a debut stream because I was like, yeah, model, let's go. I didn't do anything with it. No hype or anything.
That's fair. It looks really cute though.
And like, somebody pointed out like, your color scheme is very similar to a Furren.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it hit me. And I'm like, oh my god. I kept that. But in my redesign at the start of the year, I wanted to keep stuff from the older model from Baby Sto. Like the band-aid and the the purple hair piece. That's two things that I wanted to keep.
That's
but
fun, yeah.
I wanted to go, my idea was I want to evolve. And I evolved myself into a Furret mom. So Baby
That's
Sto became
cute.
Momsto.
That's cute. I like that.
So yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
Yeah. It's
You ever you considered doing the like shiny for it? Have you ever considered the like alternate color schemes at all? I don't know what your like favorite colors are and stuff.
I have a lot of favorite colors: purple, green, pink. But obviously, yeah, in my anniversary outfit, I went all out on the purple.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Purple's good.
If I went for an alt, I'd go pink. Pink momstos. Because
Yeah,
shiny
that sounds
fur.
very cute. So you're valid.
Yeah. More questions?
How about if you had to pick a favorite video game, what would it be? Because mine was Kirby Air Ride, but
My favorite video game. It's also a childhood game that I don't want to replay because I sometimes replay it. It's a game called Bugs Bunny Back in Time.
oh, okay.
It's a 3D platformer, but you guessed it, Bugs Bunny, going through time.
You know, makes sense. Sounds fun though.
It is fun because like Bugs Bunny for some reason wanted to go to Albuquerque, and he comes into like this shack, and he like presses a time machine and he lands in random places and time. He gets help from help, English, Dutch, whatever, help from Merlin to get through time, and he meets like a pirate version of Yosemite Sam, a caveman
gosh.
version of Elmer Fudd. It's just hilarious.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And they even used Moxie and what's the short one called again? They did the 30s with Moxie and his boss, his like
Moxie and his
Moxie and what's his name? God damn it! Let me search it up. Looney Tunes Moxie. Muggsy and Bugsy.
Oh yeah.
The like mafioso dudes. It's really funny. They're like
That's cool.
not well-known characters, and they use them as like bosses.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, that's my favorite game.
You know, that's valid. It seems cool.
It is cool. I played it with Scylla, I think, from Subterra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love those fellas. They're really good.
Mhm.
The gays.
The gays, yes, girls, gays. Ooh. Yeah. More questions or?
I think that might be all I have.
Okay. I have a final question because
Yes.
I hear you gaming. Would you mind sharing the game on stream?
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what?
I hear you gaming vigorously.
Mm-hmm.
Could we watch the game and commentate for it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I missed the first part of that. I was like, wait.
Huh?
What?
Wait, why are you calling me out?
Yeah. We can definitely watch that. That sounds good.
Wait, let me go to just. Oh no, not there. There, yeah. Then studio mode. Move everything around a bit. Stream is a bit quiet right now because I turned off the
Sure.
music. Flip horizontally. There we go. Gaming noises.
Gaming noises.
I'm guessing you're in the middle of a match right now, so you can't really go out of it and stream it.
Oh my god. I totally misunderstood. I thought you said you were playing a game.
No. I was waiting for you to stream your game.
Well, I'm not actually like so I can share what I'm doing, but I am just
Not game.
I'm satisfying my ADHD by playing this, and I'm not actually like really doing anything. I'm just kind of
Ow. Do you want to do
sitting
anything?
here and doing like a combo practice, I guess.
I mean, you can like show off your skills on stream.
Yeah, if you want me to, I can. I just I'm just like practicing combos because like I'm pretty new to the game still, so I can like do this passively while doing other things. So
I figured the other game that I planned might not be so interesting for you, so I wanted
That's
you to be
fair.
comfy.
I would definitely
why
like
I'm
be
asking.
fine with that if you want to, but yeah, it is up to you. I would not mind.
I'll
Either way.
I'll pop this on. Show this on stream. Wait, is there sound? There is no sound.
Oh yeah, I don't have audio on here.
There we go. I hope this is not copyrighted.
No, it's not. Thankfully. Yeah, I'm just doing combo practice. I'm not really like fighting anyone or anything. So.
I love this character. She looks so cool, by the way.
Yeah, I love her. She's great. And she can do these really like big combos, which is really like fun to me.
She looks like a very heavy hitter.
Yeah, she's so cool. And she has this like move where she can let me do it. She can make this gigantic laser beam.
Oh my god, her face is so
Which is-
cute.
I know, I love her. She's so good.
Oh my,
And I think the funniest thing about this is that in this game there's something called Roman canceling. So whenever you like push 3 buttons, that happens, and it cancels like the end lag on a move. So if you do this, you can make this laser beam happen, and then cancel, and then the laser beam still goes off, and you can run over and like beat them up. Which is, I just discovered that last night, and it's like hilarious because that's so unfair. Like, what do you do?
That is unfair, and that would catch me off guard.
Yeah. It's just very funny. It's not even all that good. It's just hilarious. She also has like this move, which is pretty cool. And she can like, she just has like a lot of really cool attacks, which are like very big hits because she has these giant swords, and she can throw both of them, which is fun. But then when she does that, her attacks are a lot smaller, so she has to wait for her swords to come back to her, or she can go and pick them up.
Oh.
But yeah, that's her.
That's very cool. I love the little like demon angel things on the swords.
Yeah, she has those little dudes that carry her swords for her. And at the end of a match, I don't know how to taunt in this game. There's like a button for it probably. Let me check my commands because there is like a taunt she can do where she talks to it. Command list, button settings. There's like a.
The music of this game is so good.
Oh, I don't have taunt turned on. Well, there we go.
There we have a taunt.
And then let's close this. So now she's like sitting back, I guess. Here we go. So she's talking to her like orb friend. Because it's like technically one thing that turns into two of them to carry the two swords.
Oh.
It's very silly. She has like a whole conversation. She just tells people. Like she just talks about people she likes and stuff and like her interests in the world. It's really funny. The Guilty Gear lore, like the story to this game is absolutely ridiculous, over the top and very silly.
Yeah.
And her whole thing is that she's like a robot that was sent to destroy humanity.
Yeah.
And she got captured, but and they were like, okay, we're gonna like destroy her. And somebody was like, wait a second, what if instead of destroying her, I have an idea really quick. And they showed her like puppies and gave her like burgers. And she loved them and she was like, actually humanity is okay.
Puppies and burgers, what else do you need?
Right, it's so good. I don't know if I can look at her like win screen.
Beat
to
up
show
some
you what it's
AI.
like. Yeah, I can just do like a versus a computer really quick to show you because it's just very, very funny. Hold on. Let me do one round so it's as fast as possible. And not against the Maniac CPU, please. Just do beginner. And you can just beat up Soul Bad Guy, who's got the funniest name in the world.
I thought the roster was bigger, honestly. I was like, yeah, this game has like a huge roster, and then I see the roster. Oh.
Yeah, it's actually not that big. It's got like a pretty small roster relatively. It's really funny because like it's not crazy or anything, so the CPUs are hilariously bad when they're on like beginner mode, which makes sense, but it's very funny.
I hate it when games like don't give like a difficulty bar to
Yeah.
like CPUs. And then you get like beaten up when you're learning the game.
So her victory screen has a puppy come up
Puppy!
and start licking her.
Oh my god, this is cute.
I love her so much.
This is cute.
It's so cute. Like I used to play Street Fighter and I mained Cammy, and one of the things I liked about her is that she liked cats and she had a win quote about like sensing a cat nearby. But this is like a whole nother level. A literal puppy comes up and licks her face. It's so cute.
I love like wind screen animations. It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. I really, really like her a lot. And it's part of why I have been able to get so into the game is just because I like the characters in it so much. And like my main character I'm playing is really great. But the game has tons of fun characters, and like one of the other characters I like playing is the most infamous one, May, who if you know anything about Guilty Gear, you probably know about her and her dolphins. So let me show you what this looks like. She has the ability to attack enemies with dolphins. She of course carries that huge anchor which she hits people with. But she also once the match starts here, I'll show you. She also has dolphins.
Oh my god, dolphins!
It's so good because they like they're very silly, and she yells Totsugeki every time, and I love them.
There's so much happening.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
The stream is dying at the same time.
Oh no.
It's okay though. I've had things like the Lego games cutscenes do not like OBS, by the way.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
If nothing else, you can at least see the dolphin.
Yeah, we saw the dolphin.
And she's like the leader of this pirate crew that has all these cute girls in it.
Pirates. You're the one
And,
on the
like-
top right. I'm barking.
Yeah.
Bark. Bark.
I
bark.
love them so much. They're called the Jellyfish Pirates, and I really love them.
Girls.
Girls. So true. So true. Anyway, I love her, and I love Ram, and I love this game. It's very gay.
That reminds me, the other day I was streaming Fortnite with Dog because I didn't know what to do. And the current battle pass has like this one skin that really looks like a lesbian. And I'm like to Dog, I can't believe they added lesbians to Fortnite.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I'll look if I find the picture again.
That sounds great though.
Yeah. I think it was in the Frosty's chat. There I have her. You can't tell me this isn't the most lesbian a Fortnite character can look. Come on.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. She's my GF now.
You're my wife now.
Goth girl GF.
God, girl GF.
It's so true. Goth girls are like,
God, girl
I know I'm
art.
projecting here, but like, definitely lesbian.
God,
Or at
girls
least
are
like bi, right? Like,
Yeah, obviously. Like, oh my god, you can't tell me their fashion sense isn't lesbian bi.
Right.
I have like this one site where I got my Sylveon shirt, and it's just like it has such a good god catalog, and I'm like, I want this even though I'm not god.
That's fair. I definitely wear a lot of goth fashion. I think my fashion is kind of all over the place. I have like some pastels, some goth, some like alt stuff, but like I wouldn't let that stop me. I would see something cute and goth and I'd be like, oh, I'm getting it.
Yeah. I got the cutest pair of shorts. It's Eevee cupcake shorts, they're called. And it's just black shorts with an Eevee cupcake patch.
That sounds cute.
It is amazing, like Kieran. I just love them.
Well, that's basically all I have to share on this, unless you want to watch me fight someone randomly. But
Yeah, I'd love that.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. I can give it my best try. I might get my butt kicked, but I can do my best.
I believe. We believe.
So I'll just do a quick match then, because it's the fastest way to get in. But right now I'm on the 8th floor, which the ranking system in this game is based on floors 1 through 10, and then there's Celestial, which is like the highest ranking. So I'm pretty high up there right now. I was actually on the 9th floor yesterday, but I demoted because I got my butt kicked a couple times.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of goes up and down based on how you're doing. But I've
Ranked
been like
based
obsessing over this game so much.
I believe. This
I
guy
have
is
cool
not.
combos and stuff.
This guy is
Okay.
not prepared for the fox.
I will do my best to obliterate them. They're playing Testament, who is also like non-binary, which is cool.
Bark.
Yeah, I love Testament. They're really good. They it can be kind of a hard matchup for me just because they have a lot of like good ranged abilities to keep me off of them. But I in general have a lot of better like normals than they do, which just means that I like have a lot of advantages in simple ways.
Talking about god kills and we get one.
Yeah.
I mean god dams. I'm sorry. That was my
Oh, true,
mistake.
true. No, you're good. Okay. I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I got them. Hooray!
Laser time!
Laser beam. It's very, excuse me, it's very, very, very good.
I also love good mid fight animations.
Yeah. Understandable. This game has great animations too. Ooh.
I love the ones in like Mortal Kombat 11 and Injustice 2 where like when you knock out a character they just lay on the ground and your character just taunts them with a fitting voice line.
That's so good. Oh, I think I got them? Wait, no, I missed. Oh. Ow. Okay, well, they pushed me through the wall. This game is very back and forth.
It's a fighting game, of course.
Yep. Okay, this might get them. Laser beam. Yep.
Oh my
Great.
god, I thought she was gonna jump over them.
Yeah, the laser beam hits really high, so it's hard to jump over. If they had like known I was gonna do that in advance, like if they predicted it, they could have done something better. But yeah. I could rematch them if you want to see more. But
Yeah,
okay.
more.
That's just like I don't know. The game's very exciting. I really,
It
really
is.
enjoy this game so much.
You don't have to hold back from me, hon.
Okay.
You can go all out.
I will do my best. Okay.
I am actually interested. I am like the fighting games are my guilty pleasure, even though they're not my genre.
Understandable. They're really good. I will simply do a laser beam again because I have a simple brain.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, okay, they got me there.
Ooh. That was close though.
Yeah, they had the magic pixel.
I've heard this song like outside of this game a lot before I knew about this game even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mostly got into this game when it came out because like Momo was into it, but it's now become my favorite. I just really, really love it a lot.
I have no friends that are into fighting games.
There we go.
Ooh.
Got the round.
That was a
close
cool
there.
move.
Yeah, it's the like you probably know if you're into fighting games, but the typical term for a move like that is like a DP. And her super being a DP is so good.
It reminded me of Mega Man's down smash with like the flames on top.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a Mac main.
Mech main?
Yeah, little Mac main on Smash.
That's fair.
I'm the weakest character of the roster.
That's fair. Fun though.
Yeah, he's absolutely fun.
Ooh, okay, they got me. Close one though.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Also, now we get to see Testament's outro, which is really cool. They are
Bye.
like so good. They're such a non-binary, like absolute just. I love them. Non-binary icon.
Bike.
Oh, they canceled the rematch there.
They're like, that's too
But,
close. My heart can't take the stresses.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, good on them for getting that win though. It was a close match. But that's the game. That's it here.
You can continue if you want. You don't have to hold back, like I said.
That's fair. I do kind of actually want to go grab food soon since it's getting close to the 3-hour point.
Oh yeah. That's
so-
fair. Do you
And I
have...
gotta do a bunch of prep for my event next Saturday and stuff. So I got some stuff to do.
Let me move to just chatting there. Do you have like a streamer that you wanna?
Oh,
You want us to read
sure.
into?
Let me see who's live. So, do you know Mira?
They're not on my list, so I might not know them. Send the link.
What about Iggy? Do you know Iggy?
I feel so bad now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like you would get along with Iggy very well. Iggy's playing Rust right now. I can share their. Wait, did they just go offline? I think they might have just gone offline.
Oh no. That moment you wanna raid into somebody, you raid into somebody and you just raided into somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. No, they are still live. Okay, cool. They've been live for 7 hours though. Oh my gosh.
That's a long stream. Let's make it
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. But there is the name of the channel and a link to it for you
I'll,
if you want to do that. Of course, feel free to rate whoever you want to. That's just my suggestion.
I take your suggestion. No.
Okay.
Oh my god, they look so cute.
Yeah, they're like a plant. They're based off of like the tree Yggdrasil.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Mm-hmm. And they're also non-binary.
Oh my god. Okay, but thank you for being my guest. It was really lovely and really
Of
fun.
course. Thanks for having me.
It's no biggie. I'd love to hang out more, honestly. You're really
Yeah,
fun.
definitely.
But yeah.
Thanks again for having me. It was lots of fun. Thanks for watching me play Guilty Gear.
It was really fun and interesting. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. It's so fun.
The short time we had with the game, it was really fun.
Yeah. Did you want to have a raid message for Iggy?
For that mom raid we usually do. Wait, let me type it down. Usually we always do for that mom raid.
For it, mom raid. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for being my guest. And
Of course. Thank
we'll
you for
see.
having me.
It's no biggie at all. I'll see you some other time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd definitely be down to hang out and stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
I
let's go.
have been meaning to do more things like that anyway, so.
But yeah, let's go.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.